There, baby. EBB, EBB. Love it.
So
Hi, Hannah.
First couple games, plug your article, keys, and
Hello and welcome to Eldridge Park in Orleans, Massachusetts for Orleans Firebirds baseball. Tonight, the Orleans Firebirds welcome in the Cotuit Kettleers as they continue their opening week of the 2021 season. Cotuit is 1-1 this season with an opening day win against Wareham and a loss 4-7 to Hyannis on Monday. The Kettleers are powered by an outstanding outfield highlighted by Pac-12 home run leader Dylan Beavers and top 35 MLB prospect John Rhodes. In a small sample size, the Bats have been working early for Cotuit with the team averaging 6 runs per game and hitting .304. The Orleans Firebirds played 2.5 innings against Harwich at White House Field on Tuesday before a massive downpour ended that game. Orleans is currently 1-1 through 2 games, and after 2 games will take on one of the most talented offenses on paper in the Cape in Cotuit. A new wrinkle in the Orleans game plan today is Chase DeLauder will be the opener and hand the ball to Connor Thurman for today's game. It's the only game on the Cape today as the Orleans Firebirds and the Cotuit Kettleers face off for the first time this season. Let's send it to our sideline reporter Noah Searson to give us the breakdown on tonight's matchup.
yeah, thanks, Carlo. About 15 minutes until first pitch, but before that, we got the early bird pregame show. Noah Searson alongside the Orleans beat writer Cole Bradley. And, we got a lot to get to and not a lot of time, so I'm just going to go straight into it. Of course, Orleans had the off day yesterday, but opened up with a big win against Harwich and then kind of a tough loss against Chatham. The rain out against Harwich. Again, that's the start of the season. There's been a lot of storylines for sure, but when you're looking at everything, Cole, what has really stuck out to you either storyline-wise or trends that you've seen in this team that Orleans Firebirds fans should know about going into this one?
Just the growing pains of all these guys coming over from a spring where they were swinging BB Corp metal bats, having to adjust with the wood, has been tough for them. It's been hard to scrounge up some offense for these Firebirds in the early going, at least for the first few games. I'd look for that to sort of change tonight. They're probably pretty motivated after that loss in Chatham, and we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah, for me, Cole, it's been all about the pitching kind of going into the season. We knew that Kelly didn't necessarily have the standout pitchers like he has in the past, but it was definitely going to be important, and we've seen this. Against Harwich, the pitchers were excellent, only allowed 1 run, big part of the win. Against Chatham, it got a little dicey. Jake Somm kind of had a rough outing, hadn't pitched in a long time to his credit. But that cost them in that one. Then, of course, on Tuesday, we had the shortened game, but boy, did Marquise Grissom Jr. look fantastic. 3 strikeouts in just 2 innings. So Firebirds fans, get excited for the next time he's on the mound. Those have been the storylines thus far. Now we roll into a matchup against Cotuit, a very talented Kettleers squad, and another absolutely, look at this beautiful day, Cole. It's going to be a fun one in part because Firebirds fans get to look at some great baseball players, specifically a couple, Cole, that will be playing for Team USA. We've got Jordan Sprinkle, your starting shortstop today, and Jace Young, your starting second baseman. Sprinkle can play defense as good as anybody, not even in college baseball, but professionally. I know in BP against Harwich, Cole and I witnessed one of the most spectacular, most low-key plays by Sprinkle ever. That was fun to watch. And then Jace Young, he hasn't hit a home run yet, technically, although he did put one over the fence against Chatham. Both of them have been spectacular in their own right, and I know you talked to them about their time with the Firebirds and the fact that they get to represent Team USA on the national level, Cole.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a couple studs out there, doing what they do best, and that's play baseball. And they've been doing that so far with the Firebirds, and they're really, really looking forward to it. When they join Team USA, I talked to both of them, and they seem very, very excited about the opportunity to join this Team USA squad. It's different than years past. but just the opportunity to be able to don your nation's colors is sort of the idea here that's huge for those guys. And I was able to sit down with them and talk to them about it, and it was huge for them.
Yeah, and Cole, I know you got a piece out coming out soon. Cole's just cranking out the features. Love to see all of them. You can find them on our Twitter page and all our other social medias. But without giving out too much, what's that going to look like, not only for Young and for Sprinkle, but also for the Firebirds, because they lose two of their best players, two of the players that have been in the starting lineup every single day, most likely won't be back this summer.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, like you said, they're losing two of basically their middle infielders, starting shortstop and their second baseman. But that's why they've added a bunch of middle infielders. Obviously, there's Benjamin Blackwell, Andy Blake. Those guys can play up the middle, and they're very, very good at it. So I wouldn't be too worried about that, but obviously losing two of some of the better players in the entire country is a huge deal. So, yeah.
Yeah, not ideal, Cole, and we still got some players to roll in, including a couple Vandy kids who won't be coming yet. Spectacular comeback win last night against Stanford. Got a couple of them rolling in too, though. Will definitely be a fluid roster and a lot of talented guys to watch this season. That's Young and that's Sprinkle. Like I said, check out that feature on our Orleans Firebirds Twitter page. Should be out soon, but we're going to bring it back to today's game. Cotuit versus Orleans. I know it's one that we've been excited about. Like Carlos said, it's the only game on the Cape today, so all eyes are on this game. I know there are a lot of scouts here, a lot of people here. The buzz is palpable in the air. So when you're thinking about this game, two very talented teams, what's your key to winning in this one if you're the Orleans Firebirds, Cole?
So really for the Firebirds, it's been about the big inning. And I think against Chatham, it was that fifth inning for Chatham where they scored 4. And it's been, it was the later innings in the opener against Harwich. I think they need to really solidify and find that big inning, score a bunch of runs, and figure out a way to just jump ahead and win this game.
Well, the big inning will always help you, Cole. And, if the offense can get going early, that will give them run support. So I'm going to go on the pitching side if you're going on the more offensive side. We didn't even talk about it, but Chase DeLauder, your starting right fielder, he is the starting pitcher. Yeah, you heard it right. Position player starting on the mound. He did a little bit of pitching at JMU. I had talked to the coaches before the game. He throws a fastball in the low 90s and has a dirty slider, but he's only going to go one inning. The Firebirds employing more of an opener strategy, so he'll be interesting to watch. But my key to the game is you need some good innings out of Connor Thurman. He was supposed to be the probable starter today, but he threw 1 1/3 against Chatham. He's going to come in relief. It sounds like he'll probably go 3 innings in an ideal world, and innings 2, 3, and 4, that really sets the tone for the game, because if the Firebirds let Cotuit pull away there, they're going to be in trouble. You saw it against Chatham. Chatham scratched a couple runs off early, including an absolute bomb, and that put them behind the 8 ball. They had to play comeback the entire game. So if Connor Thurman can have a good outing, I think that sets up whoever else comes in, whether it's Nick Holt, Jeff Pramel. It sounds like we might be seeing Michael Polk tonight. If those guys can come in an ideal situation rather than having to come in with runners on base or early, that sets the Firebirds up for success. Those were our keys, so I hope you paid attention. Those will be integral for Firebirds' success tonight. But unfortunately, that's all the time we got. That was the Early Bird pregame show. So alongside Cole Bradley, I'm Noah Searson saying so long. We'll have a bunch more coverage tonight. But for now, we're sending it back to Carlo Jimenez and Gareth Kwok in the booth for today's call. Guys.
Thanks so much, Noah. Really appreciate you and Cole's insight. Carlo Jimenez alongside my broadcast partner, Gareth Kwok. Gareth, a big one today against this Cotuit team, the defending champions from 2 years ago. When you look down at their lineup, what are some guys who you have highlighted who might be danger to this Orleans pitching staff tonight?
Yeah, so far this is a pretty explosive offense, and again, only 2 games in. It's still such a small sample size, Carlo, but they're hitting .304 to start. They've got 12 runs in 2 games, and when I look at this Kettleers lineup, it's hard to recognize the Kettleers without noticing Dylan Beavers, the right fielder for tonight, the Cal outfielder who led the Pac-12 in home runs. He has such easy power from that left side. Got a chance to see him last summer down in Northern California when he played for the Healdsburg Prune Packers, and it just shows how much he has improved with the Golden Bears, and now he's getting this opportunity to play for Cotuit. He had 18 home runs, 49 driven in for the Golden Bears, and now he's here on the Cape, and he will be playing for Team USA later on in the second. But it's also pretty easy to recognize John Rhodes, the Kentucky outfielder who hit 251 on the year, but he still had 11 home runs, 36 runs batted in. He's a guy that's getting some draft recognition. And Rhodes, again, a guy who has a ton of power. These are scouts that come in. They want to see the power today. There's Noah talked about it earlier. Again, a lot of scouts in attendance today. The only game on the Cape, so therefore the attendance from the scouts and the fans is going to be big. And you want to see some power. You want to see some fireworks. Cotuit and Orleans certainly has both that in the power department. So it should be fun to see who might deliver in the long ball department in that category tonight, Carlo.
Yeah, short porches on either side. It's going to be an interesting one between two of probably the more talented teams on paper coming into this year, the Cotuit Kettleers and the Firebirds. We'll step aside for the national anthem and come back with the starting lineups. It's the Firebirds versus the Kettleers here at Eldridge. Beautiful rendition of our national anthem, and we are set to go here at Miss Eldridge. Orleans and Cotuit will get you the lineups for the visiting Kettleers. Leading things off, it will be Eric Brown, Jr., the sophomore shortstop out of Coastal Carolina. Behind him, the lefty Cole Cummings, third baseman out of UCSB. Junior John Rhodes will be in the third spot, the sophomore out of Kentucky. Rhodes playing center field today. Dylan Beavers, who we talked about in the pregame, the sophomore out of Cal, will be in right. Luke Gold out of Boston College, not too far from here. Sophomore will be playing second base today. Brooks Baldwin, junior out of UNC Wilmington, he will be in left. Matthew Donnellan will be behind the plate putting down the signs, a sophomore out of UConn. And Brett Roberts is DHing today in the 9th spot out of Florida State. On the mound for the Firebirds, it's Chase DeLauder, a big lefty. He is also DHing and hitting in the 5-hole today, but he'll start this first inning on the mound. He'll throw fastball slider, speed about 91 in his bullpen this week. Gareth, when we talked with some of our analytics guys, they said, Chase, pitching isn't his most favorite thing to do, but he is sure good at it.
And he sure is, and he did have some good numbers in just 5 appearances for James Madison this past season. Had a sub-2 ERA and just 7 1/3 innings. Again, didn't pitch a whole lot this spring, but Orleans is going with a little opener strategy. DeLauder should be pitching only one inning today. And as you mentioned, Carlo, he's got a good fastball. It's going to run around high 80s, low 90s. He's got a curve and a slider, but expect to see a lot of heavy fastball slider today as he just gets a feel for, his feel for his pitching and gets a feel for back how it is on the mound against these Cotuit hitters tonight.
So he will start with a right-hander, Eric Brown, as we open things up at Eldridge Park. The Orleans Firebirds 1-1 this season with a cancellation on Tuesday. Cotuit with an identical record. Their game also canceled this Tuesday. Righty Brown looks on. DeLauder kicks high. First pitch. Swinging a ground ball over towards short. Jace Young to his left. Across his body. Throws it to first in time. And there's one away. So 1 pitch, 1 out to open up the ball game. And up comes the left-handed batter, Cole Cummings. Cummings headed to UC Santa Barbara. Played his college ball at University of Mexico, then Plain Community College. First pitch his way. Strike on the inside part of the plate. And the count, no balls and 1 strike to Cummings. Cummings was 3 for 7 today, 0-1 in there for a strike. Quickly, the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty, 1 out, just getting going, top of the first. Cotuit 0-2, swinging a foul straight back. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. And Orleans here at Eldridge. Good crowd on hand on the hill. A lot of people towards the shade down the right field line, over towards that 314 mark. And down the smaller hill, down the left field line. Also some fans putting their lawn chairs out before the game. Oh, 2, 1 out, scoreless ball game. Home plate umpire John DiGirolamo picking up some baseballs. He heads back. And now DeLauder sets. 0-2. Slider off the outside. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cummings 3 for 7 on the year with a walk. Struck out twice. 0-2. Slapped right at Young at second. Waits for it on a hop. Gloves it belt high and slings to first for out number 2. 2 baseballs finding the second baseman, Jace Young. I'm sure a lot of scouts are here for him, and he was able to field them cleanly. So with 2 outs and the bases empty, left-handed batter John Rhodes, sophomore out of Kentucky. Kind of the superstar here early. Left-handed batter plays with a lot of swagger. Opening offering. He takes a ball away. 88 from DeLauder. And the count 1 ball, no strikes. Rhodes picked up 2 RBIs on Tuesday before the game was canceled. 1 out. Off the outside. And 2 balls and no strikes. DeLauder behind in the count to Rhodes. Rhodes is a fantastic outfielder. He didn't make an error this entire season. 2-0. And he swings and grounds one left side of the infield. Past Locklear and into left field. A base hit. 2 out knock from John Rhodes keeps the top of the first alive. And now will be the cleanup man, Dylan Beavers.
Let's take a look at the Orleans defensive alignment here for today. Jared McKenzie getting the start in left field. Originally it was going to be Andy Blake, but head coach Kelly Nicholson giving us the notice that McKenzie's in left. Rylan Thomas in center, Connor Cox in right, Locklear, Sprinkle, Young, Moss left to right in the infield. Justin Mickness doing the catching for DeLauder tonight.
So lefty Beavers into the box, 3 for 7 this season with a runner at first. The pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Count no balls and 1 strike to Beavers. Beavers actually came to Cal, was recruited as a pitcher. And then this last season, led the Pac-12 in home runs. DeLauder looks at first, looks back home. 0-1. Another fastball, another strike. And the count, no balls, 2 strikes to Beavers. Beavers has terrific power to the opposite field. Chase DeLauder, who's on the mound, pick up a home run that way here on opening day. Leading at first is Rhodes. 0-2. Skips in the dirt, gets away from McNiss, bounces over towards the on-deck circle of Cotuit. Actually hit Luke Gold here, was on the on-deck circle, so stopping at second is John Rhodes after he advances on DeLauder's wild pitch. DeLauder, the opener, just looking for 3 outs. He's got 2. And a 1-2 count on Dylan Beavers, but a runner in scoring position in the top of the first in John Rhodes. DeLauder stares in, sets just away from the letters on those white Firebird unis. 1-2, swing and a miss, and he strikes out Beavers to end the inning. 1 hit, 1 left on, and Chase DeLauder does his job. He'll go pick up a bat as the Firebirds will have Sprinkle, Thomas, and Young in the bottom of the first. No score through half an inning here in Orleans.
And folks, tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Mosquito Mary's, a locally owned family-operated business that provides all natural mosquito and tick control services. Call 866-ASK-MARY or go to mosquitomarys.com. Mention the Cape Cod Baseball League and get your first treatment for only $29 at Mosquito Mary's. And tonight's broadcast is also sponsored by Cape Cod Coca-Cola, which thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30-plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape. Coca-Cola.
Thank you, Gareth. So now we'll get you the starting lineup for the Orleans Firebirds. We'll start with the righty Jordan Sprinkle, the sophomore out of UCSB. Then Rylan Thomas, sophomore out of USC, and behind him, Jace Young. Young with Team USA, only here a week. Cleaning things up will be Tyler Locklear. At 5 and 6, it's Chase DeLauder and Connor Cox. And then rounding out the lineup, 7, 8, 9, Jack Moss, Jared McKenzie, and Justin McNiss for the Firebirds. Again, Andy Blake, a late scratch. McKenzie substituted in, and they'll face off against Harrison Cohen on the mound for Cotuit. Cohen, in his junior season at George Washington, at a 4.53 ERA and 59 2/3 innings pitch, did strike out nearly 70 batters, was terrific in the 2020 shortened season with a 2.10 ERA and was named Team Co-MVP. Going to see a lot of fastballs and sliders. He'll use the changeup sometimes, but mainly a 2-pitch guy. His heater tops out at 96, and the slider is going to be around 78 to 81. He was on that championship team that Cotuit had back in 2019, Garrett, and only pitched in the playoffs. Wasn't fantastic. Gave him about 4 2/3 with a 5.78, but back with the Kettleers and trying to make an impact in his first start.
Yeah, and Cohen is a guy, he's got that. He knows what it's like to be on the Cape, and I'm sure it's exciting for him to see how he translates the success he had at George Washington now, facing these types of hitters like a Jordan Sprinkle, a Jace Young. He's probably going to be out there for at least a couple of innings, maybe 3 or 4. Who knows? But it should be fun for him and fun for these Firebirds hitters to get to face him as well tonight.
So Jordan Sprinkle, the right-handed batter, digs into the box to open up the bottom of the first. No score between Orleans and Cotuit. As the right-hander Sprinkle digs in. 2 for 7 on the year is the righty. Cohen's first pitch. And he swings and fouls it back to the screen. And the count, no balls, 1 strike. Cohen was able to go the distance last year at George Washington. A couple complete games. Tied for the team lead in wins. Still their best arm. 0-1. Sprinkle swings and rifles one into right. Coming in the right fielder, Beavers. He makes the catch on the jog. Sprinkle makes hard contact, but right at the right fielder, and there's one away. So it'll be the left-handed batter, Rylan Thomas. Thomas picked up an unofficial single. I guess that's what we call it after yesterday's ball game that started and stopped. Tried to steal a base, what was caught stealing. Rylan 0 for 2 on the season. Got the start against Chatham on Monday, opening offering. Off the outside, 94 on that fastball. And the count, 1 ball, no strikes to him. Shadows starting to cross Eldridge Field, starting in right and left. Across second base and behind the pitcher, Cohen. 1-0. Up and away for a ball. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes. No score, Cotuit and Orleans. Bottom of the first inning. Pretty good crowd on hand here at Eldridge Park. Wind blowing out to right field. Cohen exhales, steps back, kicks high. 2-0. Swinging a pop-up foul. Back on the road behind us. No cars in danger just yet. And the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Sprinkle heading to Team USA. In about a week or so. Sprinkle and Young are actually on the same flight. Headed out of here to be on Team USA. Two one. Strike catches the outside part of the plate. And the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Cohen working with that fastball, 94 miles an hour. He's got that low mid-90s heater.
2-2. Swinging a line drive into left center field. Going back to center fielder Rhodes looking up. It tops the wall. Rounding first on his way to second is Thomas, and he's in there with a double. Ryland Thomas with his first knock as a Firebird. And he puts a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Jace Young.
Boy, that ball was squared up really nicely by Ryland Thomas. Got a pitch a little bit over the middle of the plate, middle away. And he's able to take into right center field. Nobody there protecting the gap. And with Thomas's speed, that's an easy 2-backer for the USC outfielder.
So Jace Young, who's been terrific this year in opportunities with runners in scoring position, already 3 RBIs in 2 games. And a chance with the speedster Thomas at second to put Orleans on the board. Scoreless game, bottom of the first, 1 out. After Young looks towards the righty Cohen. First pitch. Upstairs. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Mike Roberts, the skipper for Cotuit, giving a sign to his infield. One-0. Just misses off the outside. Catcher Donlin holding a little longer. Trying to entice home plate umpire John Giolimo to give him the strike. None was given, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Thomas hits second after his double to right center. Young trying to get the scoring going early. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball has him fooled, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike.
Good changeup by Cohen. That Young way out in front on the breaking ball.
Roberts moving his second baseman Gold over towards the line. He's playing in the gap on the right side of the infield, so there's a huge gap up the middle for Young. 2-1. And he swings and hits one the opposite way and foul. Over towards the chairs. Down the left field line on the smaller hill. We have the hill to the right and the smaller hill to the left. No official name for them. But they're both packed. Thomas takes a healthy lead at second base. 1 out, bottom of the first. Cotuit and Orleans scoreless with the Firebirds with a chance to change that. 2-1 to Young. Yes, misses away. Count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Young taps the plate twice, wearing those HDMH all-white uniforms with the Firebirds in red across the chest. As he eyes Cohen, 3-2. And he takes strike 3 at the bottom of the zone. Down goes Young, and there's 2 outs in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that looked like a really nice backdoor slider on the outside part of the plate, and it just caught the outside corner. Young did not like the call, but it's one of those borderline strikes that with 2 strikes you got to protect. And instead, Young is a strikeout victim.
So with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, Orleans trying to take advantage of the right-handed batter, Tyler Locklear. Locklear, the sophomore out of VCU. Cohen's first pitch. No, he looks back at second, and Thomas is back on his feet. Locklear, a big power hitter for VCU, 16 home runs as a freshman. This is a guy, Gareth, who only had 3 offers out of high school. And here he is playing in the Cape. First pitch, swinging a foul straight back. Was named Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year and All-American third teamer. And only 3 schools out of high school said, hey, this guy can play for us. It's hard to believe. The offers were Townsend, Gardner-Webb, and his school now VCU. Thomas at second, 2 outs. Bottom of the first, no score, 0-1. Drops in there for a strike. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Thomas double to right center. Young unable to take advantage. He strikes out. And now it's up to Tyler Locklear. The only game on the Cape on this Thursday at Eldridge. 0-2. Off the outside, gets away from the catcher Donlin. Thomas on to third, takes a big turn and puts the brakes on and heads back. Ryland moves 90 feet closer, loses his helmet. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think Ryland Thomas is going to need a smaller helmet to fit his head. Carlo, that's the second time he's already lost his helmet. One on the double, and now the one here advancing from second to third on the wild pitch. But now Locklear, if he can do the job, he'll make it an early lead.
A chance for Orleans to get on the board in the bottom of the first inning. A scoreless game. 1-2. Locklear swings and hits one on a hop towards second base. Second baseman Gold takes it at the belt and goes to first in time. Orleans threatens, but they do not score. Runner in scoring position, and 1 left on after the double by Ryland Thomas. We'll head to the top of the second inning. Cotuit and Orleans, 0s on the board through 1.
And fans, on this day in Firebirds baseball, 4 years ago, with the Firebirds down 4-2 against Harwich, heading into the top of the 8th, University of Arizona catcher Cesar Salazar hit a 2-run home run to break open the game and secure the Firebirds a 7-4 win over the Harwich Mariners. Cesar now currently playing with the Asheville Tourists, the High A affiliate of the Houston Astros. He's hitting .240 with 2 home runs. But folks, that is your this day in Firebirds baseball.
Thank you, Gareth. It's always good to learn a little bit more about the Orleans Firebirds.
Well, it's always nice to catch up on guys, you know, of course not necessarily all the prominent names, but guys that were a part of the organization and are still doing their thing in the minor leagues, of course. It's always a pleasure to look at.
New pitcher on the mound for the Firebirds. It's Connor Thurman, the probable starter today after the opener by Chase DeLauner. Thurman, a big right-handed pitcher out of the University of San Diego. He's a temporary player on the roster. Thurman struck out 84 batters in 64 2/3 innings at San Diego, had a 3.9 ERA. Pitched against Chatham, went 1 1/3 on Monday of this week, walked 1, struck out 1, and had a solid outing. And I think, Garrett, this is a guy who Orleans hopes, if they can, keep him on the roster for the rest of the season, granted he doesn't get drafted.
Yeah, and I mean, like you talked about, he was their best starting pitcher in the University of San Diego Torero staff from this past season. He gets a lot of strikeouts. He does not walk a lot of guys, and they're hoping Thurman can give him at least, I think they're going to give him at least 3 innings or so today, and so should be fun to see how Connor Thurman does, making his first appearance on the summer for Orleans.
So Thurman will face Luke Gold, Brooks Baldwin, and Blake Klassen at least here in the top of the second inning. No score between the Orleans Firebirds and the Cotuit Kettleers. Well, from Thurman, the big righty, you're going to see a fastball that tops out around 92. He's got a solid slider and then the changeup, about a 3-pitch guy, as he gets his final warm-up pitch in and faces Luke Gold, the sophomore out of Boston College. Gold making the assist on the final out in the bottom of the first, and he'll lead off the second. Thurman in the shades, pitching to Gold in the sun. Opening offering. Catches the outside part of the plate. Breaking ball in there for a strike. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Connor already establishing the outside to the right-handed batter. See where he attacks. 0-1. Same pitch and a swing and a miss. And the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
That's that sweeping slider movement right now. That's 79 miles an hour, touching right about 80, but it runs very away from a right-handed hitter.
Thurman in the driver's seat, up 0-2. His pitch. Gold able to tap one foul right back towards us. The on-deck circle of Cotuit. And the count, no balls, 2 strikes. So you have to throw that fastball to Gold. Gold waves the bat at the belt. Leading off the top of the second for the visiting Kettleers from Cotuit. Thurman sets belt high, 0-2 again. And another swing and another foul back towards the on-deck circle. This one gloved by Baldwin with his right hand. Throws it back over towards the ball boys on the opposite side. First time these two teams face off this season. Orleans beat Cotuit twice in 2019 and tied them twice. 0-2. On the outside, strike 3 call. Down goes Gold. Second strikeout for Connor Thurman. And Gareth, if he continues to paint the outside to righties, good luck.
Yeah, that was a sequence where he set up a lot of soft stuff, a lot of breaking balls outside in the way, got him to chase, and then you set it up, the fastball on the outside corner, very nicely done by Connor Thurman.
So Brooks Baldwin, the switch hitter, will bat from the left side with 1 out and the base is empty. Top of the second inning between Cotuit and Orleans. Nobody on. First pitch. And he swings and rifles one down the right field line and foul. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Baldwin, rising junior out of UNC Wilmington, 0 for 6 in 2 games. Still looking for his first hit. UNC Wilmington's mascot is the Seahawks, Gareth.
Not Seattle, right?
No. His father played baseball at Clemson, or was ACC Player of the Year. Thurman looks towards Baldwin. 0-1 off the outside, 86. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a Cotuit offense that has been hot this year early. Small sample size, but they're averaging 6 runs a game and hitting .305 as a team. 1-1. Misses the top of the zone. And the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Thurman looks on, behind in the count to Baldwin, 2-0. And able to find the outside part of the zone. And the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Redshirt sophomore year, Baldwin hit .325 for UNC Wilmington. 2-2 with the bases empty. And he swings and grounds one right towards the first baseman, Moss. Doesn't have to move, gloves it, and steps on the bag for out number 2. So Baldwin retired, and it will be Blake Klassen with 2 outs and the base is empty. Klassen also headed to UCSB along with Cole Cummings. So 3 UCSB players in the ball game today, if you include Jordan Sprinkle of the Firebirds. Klassen, a SoCal guy, went to J. Sarah High School. Spent last year at Eastern Oklahoma State. First pitch, and he swings and pops one up down the left field line. Locklear, the third baseman, called off by the shortstop Sprinkle, who makes the catch for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down in the second. Connor Thurman with a clean inning will head to the bottom of the second inning, and it will start with the opener, Chase DeLauder. No score through 1.5 here at Eldridge.
Bottom 2 here from Eldridge Park. Still 0-0 score between Cotuit and Orleans. Let's look at the Cotuit defensive alignment here for tonight. In the outfield, Brooks Baldwin in left, John Rhodes in center, Dylan Beavers in right field. In the infield, Cole Cummins and Brown at shortstop, Gold at second, Klassen at first, and then Donlin behind the plate doing the catching.
Thanks for the lineup, Gareth, as we open up the bottom of the second inning. Scoreless ball game. Firebirds had a chance to put a run on in the bottom of the first after the double by Ryland Thomas, unable to bring him home. And now we'll start with Chase DeLauder in the 5 spot. DeLauder 2 for 6 on the year with a 3-run home run here on opening night on Sunday. And playing DH today, the lefty steps into the box. Wind blowing strong out to the pull side for DeLauder in right field. Short porch, only 314 out there. See if he takes advantage. First pitch. He swings and fouls one straight back to the bricks. 91 from Cohen. And the count, no balls, one strike. DeLauder, two-way player. After that inning, his 0-1 misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll have a trivia question that talks about the last time there was a guy who pitched and DH in the same game. Stay tuned for that. 1-1, misses high. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. Well, DeLauder had his home run here on opening night. He's talking to us after saying, I wanted to bat flip, but it's not in the Kelly Nicholson playbook. 0-1, he swings and pops it up down the left field line. Cummings, the third baseman, over towards the line, deep in the dirt, reaches up, makes the catch, and there's one away. So a pop out to third retires DeLauder. And with 1 out and the bases empty, it will be Connor Cox. Cox 1 for 5 in the short season. Came in with the bases loaded and nobody out against Chatham. First pitch to him. Righty looks at a strike upstairs. The count, no balls, 1 strike. Was unable to bring any runs home. Playing left field today is Connor. 0-1 to him. And he checks his swing and he went around, says home plate umpire John Girolamo. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Quickly to Cox. Cox, a leadoff hitter for Long Beach State, started the season on a 27-game on-base streak. And didn't make an error in the outfield. He's a solid player looking to make an impact. 0-2. Strike 3 on the outside. Second strikeout for Harrison Cohen. And both of them looking. And there's quickly 2 gone in the bottom of the second inning. So up comes the lefty Jack Moss, who is committed to Texas A&M, committed yesterday as he made the announcement. And now an Aggie. Left-handed batter looks in. First pitch. Strike on the outside part of the plate. Count, no balls and 1 strike. Harrison Cohen doing a terrific job staying ahead of batters in this bottom of the second. Bases empty, 2 outs, no score. Cotuit and Orleans here at Eldridge Park. 0-1. Swing and a miss, and no balls and 2 strikes here to Jack Moss. So Cohen in the driver's seat and back-to-back batters. Moss taps the plate, exhales, and now looks towards the righty. Working quickly, 0-2. Skips in the dirt. Moss lays off. Breaking ball misses low, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Moss going to Texas A&M, following Michael Early, the hitting coach for ASU, who was hired by the Aggies. Early a favorite among the players, and Moss wants to stay with him. 1-2. And he swings and grounds one to first. Slow roller for the first baseman, Class in knee gloves. Underhand flips to the cover, and Cohen, who steps on the bag for the out. 3 up, 3 down. In the bottom of the second, we're through 2. It's been quiet as we head to the third. Cotuit and Orleans scoreless.
As we enter the top of the third here at Eldridge, let's do our little Around the Cape score update here. Of course, we can't do it from today's scores because we're the only game happening today. So let's go back to yesterday, Wednesday's scores, where 4 games happened. 8 teams were in action. Bourne Braves winning 13-8 over Falmouth at Gov Fuller Field. Hyannis and Harwich Mariners winning 5-2 and getting their first win of the year out there in White House Field. YD taking on Wareham. Wareham with a 7-1 win over the Red Sox. And then last but not least, from Veterans Field, Chatham winning 4-2 over Brewster. So when you take a look at the standings right now, in the East Division, YD leading with 5 points, including Chatham, both with 2 wins, 1 loss, and a tie. Orleans 1-1 with 2 points. Harwich 1-2 with 2 points. Brewster still winless with no wins, 2 losses, and a tie. Meanwhile, in the West Division, Bourne undefeated with 3 wins. They have 6 points. Falmouth with a win, loss, and a tie each. They're at 3 points. Hyannis with a win and 2 losses. They're at 2 points. Cotuit with a win and a loss. They're with 2 points as well. And then Wareham with a win and 2 losses as well at 2 points.
Thank you, Gareth. As we open up the top of the 3rd inning, will be the 8-9-1 hitters, and it starts with a right-handed batter, Matthew Donlin. Donlin, part of a platoon group behind the plate for this Cotuit team, known more for his defense. Transferred from Stonehill to Yukon, where he hit .234. First pitch misses away. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. At Stonehill, Donlin was named Spring Breakout Sophomore of the Year, 0-1. He swings and misses. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. The sun has fallen behind the tree on the right field line. Taking the view of those of us down the left field line, 1-1. Strike at the knees. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Base is empty, top of the 3rd inning. Cotuit and Orleans facing off for the first time this year. The first Western Division opponent to make the drive to Eldridge. 1-2, swinging a foul. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Able to fight off the slider away is Matthew Donlin. Donlin played with Cotuit back in the summer of 2019. Was 1 for 1 in his lone at-bat in the playoffs and 0 for 3 in the regular season. 1-2. Strike 3 on the inside. He goes down looking. Second strikeout for Connor Thurman. And there's 1 away in the 3rd.
Nice little front door slider, and when it at that release point, you think it's going to hit you, but then it just sort of veers right back into the inside part of the plate. And we're seeing a lot of heavy dose of sliders from Thurman already so far in his appearance. Nice job for the strikeout.
So 1 out and the base is empty in the top of the 3rd inning, and it's a righty, Brett Roberts. First pitch his way. Look out. Up and inside, almost clips him. And the count 1 ball, no strikes. Scoreless game between Cotuit and Orleans. Roberts, the designated hitter out of Florida State. He's heading that way as a transfer from Tennessee Tech. 1-0 on the outside. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. At Tennessee Tech, he hit .343, 5 home runs, and 39 RBIs. Was pursued by a lot of ACC schools, 1-1. And he swings and cranks one foul into the netting down the right field line. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Georgia Tech in pursuit of him. And he said the history and the coaches at Florida State made it feel like home, and he'll go be a Seminole. 1-2. And he swings and fouls one down the right field line over towards the seats. That one ricochets off the trees. A sea of lawn chairs down the right field line. Crowd starting to fill in as people have strolled into Eldridge Park. Good crowd on hand for a Thursday night game. 1-2 to the righty. And he swings and flies one into right field. Going back is Cox, looking up, and he makes the catch. And there's 2 away in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, that ball had some nice carry off the bat of Brett Roberts. And off the crack of the bat, it sounded good. I thought it might for a chance maybe get out. But Cox able to make the play right near the warning track again. Very short right field fence out there here at Eldridge.
So the lineup card is flipped, and it's the right-handed batter Eric Brown with 2 away. That's the first real solid contact we've seen today, Gareth. Roberts able to fly one into right. Nice play by Cox, who was in left in the opener. And the base is empty in a scoreless game in the top of the 3rd. First pitch. Fastball, strike at the knees. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Brown grounded out to Jace Young at second. The first pitch he saw. Wearing a all white sleeve on his right arm as he holds the bat above his head. Thurman looking for a 1-2-3 inning. 1 misses away. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 hit for either team. For Cotuit, it came from Rhodes with 2 outs in the first. Rylan Thomas is the lone knock for Orleans. Thurman sets to the belt, exhales, 1-1. Swing and a miss. count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to the righty. Eric Brown Jr., a very solid shortstop out of Coastal Carolina. Trying to spark this offense with 2 outs. 1-2. Checks his swing. Did he go around? He did. Ball gets back to the backstop. Mickness is there. Throws down to first and in time. Strikeout number 3 ends the top of the third. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. Mackenzie, Mickness, and Sprinkle due up. No score through 2.5 at Eldridge.
All right, now let's go to our sideline reporter, Noah Searson, who has a report on Jace Young. Noah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Now let's send it over to Noah Searson, who has a sideline report on Jace Young. Noah.
Yeah, Gareth, I was talking to Jace a bit before the game on Harwich that eventually got canceled, and I found out something kind of funny. I know from the Meet the Bird gang with Carlo, we learned that Jace is very superstitious. He likes to play his Fortnite the night before his games. He likes to have his steaks on the weekend. But another superstition I found out was how he wears his batting gloves. And now if you pay close attention, Jace only wears 1 glove. A lot of times people wear both. A lot of times people will wear neither. But I asked Jace, why do you only wear 1 glove? And it's because his brother, Josh Jung, who is currently the #1 prospect in the Texas Rangers system, he wears the other one. So it's just yet another superstition that Jace Young has. So he may come up this inning, and if he does, pay attention because he'll only be wearing 1 glove back from traveling baseball until now. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Noah. Noah always getting the insight from the players. As we start the bottom of the 3rd inning, it'll be the right-handed batter, Jared McKenzie. McKenzie slotted in late. First pitch to him. Misses away. McKenzie's sophomore out of Baylor. His parents went to Texas. He grew up going to Longhorn games. Really wanted to go to Texas, but they didn't recruit him. 1-0, and he swings and fouls one back towards the screen. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Instead, Baylor was interested. And he said now it creates a fun rivalry between him and his parents. He picked the right school, too. Hit .383 this season at Baylor. 1-1. Misses off the outside. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. McKenzie, a guy who kind of found power out of nowhere this last season. 2-1. Misses inside. And the count, 3 balls and a strike. Last year, in the COVID year, he had 3 extra base hits, all doubles, in his 70 plate appearances. And this year had 28 extra base hits, including 10 home runs. 3-1. And he swings and pops one up back towards the left field line, over the street, and into the trees. And the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to McKenzie. McKenzie 1 for 4 against Chatham on Monday with a double in left. Came around to score. 3-2. Misses low and inside, and he'll jog down to first. Jared McKenzie takes a walk to open up the top of the 3rd inning. First time today, Orleans has a leadoff man aboard. And now a chance for Justin Mickness.
Number 16, Justin Mickness.
Mickness hit .349 his redshirt freshman year at Kent State. Left-handed batter looks on as McKenzie leads at first. Bottom of the 3rd inning. First pitch, low. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes. McKenzie stole 3 bases this past season. Doesn't have terrific speed down there at first. McNiss waves the bat below the belt, looks towards Cohen, the 1-0, swing and a miss. And the count evens up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Leadoff walk to McKenzie, opportunity for Orleans in the bottom of the 3rd. Scoreless game between Cotuit and the Firebirds. Orleans in their lone home game in this 5-game stretch, 1-1. And he waves at another breaking ball. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shadows have now pretty much engulfed the field here at Eldridge Park. Spots of sun in deep left and deep left center. With the hitter and the pitcher both in the shade. 1-2. And McNiss lays off a fastball low. The count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. McKenzie leads at first after his full count walk. Orleans trying to draw first blood here at Eldridge. And now Cohen steps off. McKenzie heads back towards the bag. Skipper Kelly Nicholson is not afraid to send his guys. Top of the lineup is due up after McNiss. Through 2-2. Swing and a looper and down the left field line. This one drops and in for a base hit. Stopping at second is McKenzie. McNiss with a bloop single. And there's 2 on with nobody out. And Orleans cooking in the bottom of the 3rd.
That would look like a hit off the end of the bat. Off the bat of Justin McNiss, and just a little looper, as you talked about, Carlo, and just nobody there in shallow left field, and this is so far the best threat for Orleans here in the bottom of the 3rd.
A McKenzie walk, a McNiss single, and now Jordan Sprinkle a chance to pick up his first RBI as a Firebird. Right-handed batter flew out to left his last time up. First pitch home. Now looking back is Cohen to second, and back standing is McKenzie. So Cohen in a little bit of a jam. Stares in, gets the signs from Donlin. 2-0. First pitch, strike on the outside part of the plate. And the count, no balls and 1 strike, 93 on that fastball. Rylan Thomas is on deck. He had the only single of the ball game before McNiss bloop single down the left field line. 0-1. Way outside, gets stopped by Donellan as he slides to his right. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. So with Thomas on deck, and behind him Jace Young, a real good chance for the Firebirds to bring a run across against Harrison Cohen in the bottom of the 3rd inning in a scoreless game. 1-1. Misses away. 93-mile-an-hour fastball off the outside, and the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Cohen had a ton of success in the 2nd inning, getting ahead of hitters. Went 0-2 on Cox and 0-2 on Moss. Was able to finish those 2 batters off. 2-1. High. And right now he's behind in the count. 3 balls and a strike to Jordan Sprinkle. McKenzie at second after his walk. McNiss at first after his single. Nobody out. 2 on. Opportunity for Orleans. 3-1 home. Ball 4 upstairs, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for Rylan Thomas. And a little bit of an opportunity for Thomas, Gareth. In Monday's game against Chatham, as Mike Roberts goes for a mound visit, I'll give you this story. Rylan was due up with nobody out with the bases loaded, and instead, skipper Kelly Nicholson went with Connor Cox. For our sideline reporter, Noah Searson, telling us visibly Thomas did not look happy, kind of slammed his bat weight down and went into the dugout unpleased with the decision. But here, the base is loaded and nobody out, and he's got a chance to show what he can do.
Well, this is an opportunity where you can prove yourself to a lot of people out in the crowd. There are a lot of scouts in attendance, of course, being that this is the only game today between Cotuit and Orleans. All the other 8 teams are off today. Rylan Thomas showing his ability to either can he drive in some runners? What can he do here with the bases loaded and nobody out? Big opportunity for not only the Firebirds, but also personally for Rylan, who's trying to get a little bit more recognition.
So the lights starting to turn on and the heat turning up here at Orleans. An opportunity for Rylan Thomas, the left-handed batter who doubled to right center his last time up. As the sophomore from USC digs in. McKenzie at third, McNiss at second, Sprinkle at first. A walk and a single sandwiched in between have the bases loaded in the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch to Thomas. Low for a ball. And they count 1 ball and no strikes. If you're Cohen, falling behind 2-0 after struggling to stay ahead of batters would be deadly here. Let's see what he throws. 1-0. Low. 2 balls and no strikes. And Cohen just can't find the strike zone. Thomas knows he probably has to throw a strike here with the bases loaded and nobody out. Cotuit and Orleans first time facing off in 2021. 2-0. Another fastball misses downstairs. 3 balls and no strikes to Thomas.
Yeah, Cohen he's not missing by a whole lot, but these are also pitches that he's got to command, and a chance for Thomas here. 3-0. Let's see what he does.
Bases loaded in a scoreless game in the bottom of the 3rd. And a chance for Ryland Thomas with nobody out. Cohen's 3-0. Downstairs and a run will walk home. Orleans gets a freebie to open up the ball game. They lead 1-0 on the 4-pitch walk with the bases loaded to Ryland Thomas.
Now batting for the Firebirds, the second baseman from Texas Tech.
And that's the 3rd walk of the inning, Carlo, from Harrison Cohen. Only 1 hit.
Well, if you want one guy up with the bases loaded, it's this guy right here. Left-handed batter Jace Young led the Big 12 with 21 home runs. Looks on towards Harrison Cohen with nobody out. First pitch. And he swings and taps one down the first base line. First baseman Klassen comes home for the force, and everybody else is safe. Throw back to third. Sprinkle with a head first slide. He's back. So Mickness thrown out on the throw from Klassen coming home. Bases are still loaded on the fielder's choice with 1 out now for Tyler Locklear.
The third baseman from VCU.
Smart play by Donlin to sort of fake the throw, the first, after Klassen threw home, and they actually almost got Jordan Sprinkle at third base. He was in there, but not by a whole lot.
So now Sprinkle at third, Thomas at second, Young at first with 1 out. Bottom of the 3rd, Orleans leads Cotuit 1-0. First pitch of the righty. Locklear swings and drives one down the right field line over towards the pole and drifting foul. That ball didn't have enough to get out, but it was flying. And the count quickly, no balls and 1 strike. Right fielder Beavers gave it a chase. Down the right field line here at Eldridge, there's no fence, so some kids coming onto the field to try to pick up that foul ball. Here comes the 0-1 to Locklear. Misses inside. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike, 94 from Harrison Cohen, digging deep into his bag. Speed on the base paths with Sprinkle at third, Thomas at second. Young leads at first. Tyler Locklear, the big power hitter from VCU, looking to make a statement in the bottom of the 3rd. 1-1. Takes the ball high. 2 balls and a strike. Three walks in this inning for Harrison Cohen. Walked a run home. Orleans trying to earn 1. 2-1. Almost clips Locklear up and inside. And the count, 3 balls and a strike, and a hitter's count with the bases loaded. Chase DeLauder on deck. Oh, he's probably got the easiest power in this Orleans lineup. The power hitters all coming up with the bases loaded. Can somebody capitalize? Already 1 run in. Orleans leading Cotuit 1-0. Cohen trying to work out of the jam. Here comes the 3-1. Check swing, fouled back to the screen. And the count runs full to Locklear. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Locklear led the Atlantic 10 in runs, RBI, slugging percentage. Had more walks than strikeouts as the patient hitter looks on with a full count. Sprinkle leads at third, Thomas at second, Young at first. 3-2. Misses inside and got Locklear on the forearm. He'll jog down to first. Sprinkle jogs home. Another run comes across. And it's 2-0 Orleans. And Mike Roberts going to go talk to Harrison Cohen and make a change. We will step aside. Orleans able to get 2 on the board, 1 by a walk, 1 by a hit by pitch. And now an opportunity for Chase DeLauder with the bases loaded and 1 out in the bottom of the third. It's Orleans 2, Cotuit nothing midway in this bottom of the third inning. Welcome back to Eldridge Park. New pitcher on the mound for the Cotuit Kettleers. The Orleans leading the Kettleers 2-0. And the new pitcher is the lefty, Joseph Walsh. Walsh is a local product here in Massachusetts out of Plymouth, Massachusetts. Was named 2015 Massachusetts Gatorade Player of the Year. Going to see a fastball from him that's going to top out at 91. Doesn't throw a curveball and has a slider that's about 78 to 82. Throws a lot of fastballs to righties and lefties and will use this slider as his strikeout pitch. He's not going to overpower anybody with velocity, but he likes to hit his spots. His last year in Boston College went 41 innings and had a 5.71 ERA. As he'll face Chase DeLauder, who started this game on the mound, the designated hitter who was the opener. Flew out to third, popped out to third his last time up. Bases are loaded, and there's 1 out in the bottom of the third here at Eldridge. Thomas at third, Young at second, Locklear at first. Walsh looks on, exhales. His first pitch down the hill. Off the outside, a good block by Donlin, sliding to his left. Donlin, one of the best defensive catchers in the Cape, and he has shown that in this bottom of the third. Has done a lot of sliding to his right and his left. 1-0. Misses away to Locklear, and he's head in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. 1 run came in on a walk to Ryland Thomas. Another on a hit by pitch to Tyler Locklear with the bases loaded. Firebirds have 1 hit in this inning. They have 2 runs across. 2-0, misses low. 3 balls and no strikes. Firebirds 2, Cotuit Kettleers nothing. Bottom of the third inning. Firebirds looking for a win on this Thursday night against the defending champion Kettleers. 3-0. Downstairs, and another run will walk home as Ryland Thomas jogs across. The 3rd run of the inning. That's a freebie for the Firebirds. Patient hitting, and the Kettleer pitchers unable to find the strike zone, Garrett.
Oh, this has got to really frustrate Mike Roberts. You know, you're going to be okay with if the opponent's getting hits and all that, but if you're just letting free passes and shooting yourself in the foot, that's not going to do anything to you.
Alrighty, Connor Cox looks on, swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. We've had 7 batters in this inning. 5 of them have reached by a walk, and 4 of them have reached by a walk, 1 by a hit by pitch. Justin Mickness had the only hit of the inning, and he was thrown out coming home. Cox looks on with bases loaded, 0-1. Off the outside, Donlin fakes back to third where Jace Young is, and he jogs back. Young at third, Locklear at second, DeLauder at first. One out in this bottom of the third inning. Firebirds already 2 runs across. 3 runs across, excuse me. Scoreboard reads 2-0. 1-1. Cox swings, grounds one through the left side of the infield and into left field. Young comes around to score. Locklear holds at third. A softly hit ball finds its way on the outfield grass. Connor Cox with his first RBI. And the Firebirds up 4-0 in the bottom of the third.
There's a little CNI ground ball through that left side. Nobody there in that hole there. Nice way for Connor Cox to pick up his first RBI of the summer. And, man, for Cotuit, the line just moves for Orleans. They need them out to get out of this ugly inning.
So up comes Jack Moss, 9th batter of the inning, and he looks at a first pitch strike away. Left-handed batter, the newest Texas A&M Aggie with an opportunity in the bottom of the third. Locklear at third, at second DeLauder, at first Cox. 0-1, misses downstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sun has fallen behind the elementary school building down the right field line. Lights starting to turn on, and Orleans looking for more easy offense in the bottom of this third. 4 runs on the board. 1-1. Misses inside to Moss. And the count 2 balls and a strike.
Gotta say, these are some really close pitches, and they're just not getting the call from John DiGirolamo. I mean, it's pretty close. It seems pretty in there, and he's just not giving them these strike calls, Carlo.
A tight strike zone, and the Firebirds have been the beneficiaries. 2-1. Just misses downstairs. 3 balls and a strike. Mike Roberts has not said anything. He has been quiet in his dugout. Runner at third is Locklear, at second DeLauder, at first Cox. 4-0 Orleans, bottom 3. 3-1. Check swing, did he go? In there for a strike. And the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Moss. Jared McKenzie, who started the inning off with a walk, is on deck. Bases loaded, 1 out. Bottom of the third. Orleans 4, Cotuit nothing. 3-2. Strike 3 on the outside. Moss retired looking. There's the second out of the third inning. And Jared McKenzie strolls to the batter's box for the second time in the bottom of the third.
Now batting for the Firebirds, the left fielder from Baylor, number 18, Jared McKenzie.
McKenzie walked, came around to score. As he takes a couple of practice hacks, looks towards Joseph Walsh, and digs in. Locklear at third, DeLauder at second, at first Connor Cox. 2 outs, bottom 3, Orleans with already 4 runs across. First pitch, strike on the outside part of the plate. And the count, no balls and 1 strike to McKenzie. Orleans has had 3 of their 4 runs come across on freebies. 0-1, swinging a foul straight back to the screen. And the count, no balls, 2 strikes, right at the Cotuit Kettleers radio group. Orleans with already 4, looking for more. 2 outs, bottom 3. The only game on the Cape on this Thursday in Orleans. 0-2, misses upstairs, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Doesn't look like there's any action in the Cotuit bullpen. This is all Joseph Walsh. 1-2, swing and a miss, strikeout, and down goes McKenzie. The Orleans Firebirds leave the bases loaded. They get 2 hits, 4 walks, a hit by pitch, and it all adds up to 4 runs. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Gareth Kwok will have it for you. It's the Orleans Firebirds 4, the Cotuit Cavaliers nothing in our Orleans Firebirds radio network.
top four here from Orleans. And for more, let's go to our sideline man, Noah Searson. Noah.
Yeah, guys, we talked about it before the game. One of the big keys was the big inning. Cole said it happened right there, and big part of the fact that the Orleans Firebirds got a lot of left-handers on their squad, 6 out of the 9 batters in the starting lineup. I'll get to it more in a bit. We got game action starting, so I'm going to toss it back to you guys. I'll get back to this point a bit later in the game.
All right, thanks, Noah. Connor Thurman here, facing off against the left-handed hitting third baseman Cole Cummings. Takes one outside for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch. Good breaking ball that slides right back into the middle of the plate. 1-1 here to Cummings, who grounded out to second back in the first. If you're just joining us, a 4-run bottom of the third for Orleans has given them a 4-0 lead heading into the fourth. 1-1 pitch from Thurman is outside with the fastball. It's 2-1 now. 4 runs on 2 hits. They leave 3 stranded. And a secure cushion here for Connor Thurman, the right-hander. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Count even up at 2. 4 walks in the third, including a hit by pitch as well from the Kettleers pitching staff. Here's a 2-2. Backdoor slider that just misses off the outside, and now the count will run full 3-2. It's Cummings, Rhodes, and Beavers. 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Kettleers here in the top of the fourth. From the stretch, Thurman, full count offering. And on the outside corner, strike 3 called. 81-mile-an-hour breaking ball from Connor Thurman that wrapped around the outside part of the plate. That's Connor's 4th strikeout of the evening, and there's 1 down here in the top of the fourth. So with nobody on and 1 out, this will bring up the Kentucky center fielder, John Rhodes. Righty on righty matchup, first pitch on the way, and it's a fastball low and outside in the dirt. 1-0 to Rhodes. Singled to left back in the first inning. He is the only hit for the Kettleers tonight so far against Orleans Firebirds pitching. Swings at the 1-0 and grounds it foul off to the left. Count even up at 1 now.
And Rhodes has kind of that superstar swag for this Cotuit team, and if you want to get going after what was probably a tough inning to watch, this is a guy who can energize the team.
A ball and a strike to John Rhodes. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball in the dirt, and Rhodes, who had to break down his swing. That pitch was way off the outside, and he was unable to hold up. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes with a left-hand hitting power bat from Cal. Dylan Beavers on deck. Here's the 1-2. And a ground ball to third. Fielded by Locklear out in front. He's going to throw on the run to first in time to get Rhodes out by perhaps half a step. Locklear took his time over at third. He didn't charge that slow roller at the hot corner. And the throw, an accurate throw, able to get him just in time for the second out here in the fourth.
Yeah, and then just pan it right a little bit.
So Rhodes is retired. There's 2 down now here in the fourth. And this will bring up now Dylan Beavers out of Cal. Beavers a strikeout victim back in the first inning. The first pitch from Thurman. And a line drive into left field. And the left fielder McKenzie's going to play it on a hop for a 2-out hit. So Dylan Beavers ropes a single to left, and he'll keep the inning alive for the Kettleers. And this will now bring up Luke Gold out of Boston College for Cotuit.
Perfect, right there.
Righty on righty matchup. First pitch. Slow roller back to the pitcher, Thurman. He's got it. He's going to throw low in the dirt. It's scooped out by the first baseman, Jack Moss. and the side is retired. So, no runs on one hit, no errors, one is left stranded. On we go now to the bottom of the fourth. It's Orleans 4, Cotuit nothing here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs including new majors in sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science. Online at www.curry.edu. The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls. Piled high with grilled brioche and served hot, buttered, or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal.
Thank you very much there, Mr. Carlo Jimenez, for that. Always appreciated. And looks like we're going to have ourselves a new pitcher here for Cotuit. Coming in now, the pitch is going to be the right-hander, the rising sophomore from Baylor, Hamilton Oliver. Hamilton Oliver, 6'2", 220 from Corpus Christi, Texas. And in 21 appearances for the Bears, and also in 3 starts, he threw 28 2/3 inning pitch, 22 strikeouts over just 11 walks. He was a second-year freshman who served as mostly a middle reliever for the Bears this year and mostly as a bridge roll type of player. Oliver is going to be facing the bottom of the order for the Firebirds. Justin Mickness, Jordan Sprinkle, and Rylan Thomas. 9, 1, and 2 here in the bottom of the fourth.
Well, Gareth, all Oliver's really got to do is throw strikes. That was the big issue in that third inning is Cotuit pitching just couldn't find the zone. Granted, it is a very tight one, and we mentioned from John Girolamo, but it's possible to get pitches in there. And so we'll see if he can paint the zone against this Orleans Firebirds team.
So Cotuit starter Harrison Cohen, his final line is closed. 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 4 runs. All 4 were earned. 3 walks and just 2 strikeouts. And for Joseph Walsh, his line is also done. Just 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, no runs, no earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts for those 2 pitchers so far. So tough for Cohen, who just did not seem to have much control tonight. Unfortunate for him. And now Oliver will come in and just try and stabilize the bullpen and stabilize the Kettleers here for the next inning or so. He's going to face the left-hand hitting Mickness out of Kent State. First pitch, good breaking ball that wraps around and catches the outside for a called strike. 0-1. Mickness, who singled back in the third inning, awaits the 0-1, and it's up high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Justin Mickness. Mickness for Kent State hit .349 with 4 homers and 36 runs batted in this spring. Another breaking ball on the 1-1, and it's on the outside corner for a called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Justin Mickness. From the windup, here's the 1-2. And it's rolled to second. Taking his time is Gold, and he'll throw over to first for out number 1.
Right before that play, Mike Roberts yelled at Luke Gold and told him to move over to his left a little bit, and guess where the ball's hit? Right there. Some heads-up coaching by the skipper for Cotuit. Ends in a clean out for the Kettleers.
Jordan Sprinkle will now dig in here against Oliver. Jordan has lined out to right, and he has walked in 2 plate appearances. Swings at the first pitch, and it's speared by the pitcher Oliver. He will hustle over to first and underhand toss it to the first baseman Klassen for a quick out number 2. So a couple of quick outs here from the right-hander Hamilton Oliver. And this will bring up now Rylan Thomas, the USC outfielder. And the lefty with 2 down and nobody on here in the home half of the fourth. First pitch, fastball, outside corner, called strike 1. Hamilton Oliver, Hambleton. That's how you spell Hamilton. 0-1. Fastball just off the outside for ball 1. And Oliver, his college coach, Steve Rodriguez at Baylor, describes him as a guy who will come in and throw strikes when you're in trouble. And this is exactly the scenario here on the Cape that he's been thrown into, as Thomas grounds the 1-1 foul off to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Baylor's hoping that Oliver can become a more later inning reliever soon, but for right now, he's in there to throw strikes and get outs. 1-2 pitch, grounded to second. More work for Luke Gold. He collects, throws quickly to first to get the speedy Thomas, and that will end the inning. 3 ground outs consecutively, a 1-2-3, 4 thrown by Oliver, and we now move on to the 5th. It's Orleans 4, Cotuit nothing here on the Birds Broadcast Network. We'll be right back.
Let's send it over to our sideline reporter, Noah Sears, and take it away. Let's head to our sideline reporter, Noah Sears. Go ahead and take it away.
All right, Firebirds fans, another game means another trivia question. I got tonight's, obviously, Chase DeLauder. He's the right fielder normally. He was the starting pitcher tonight, so we kind of use that as the theme trivia question is. In 2019, the last Firebirds season, of course, the Firebirds had one player both pitch and hit in the same game. Who was that? You can tweet your response at Orleans Firebirds on Twitter. We've already tweeted it out, so tweet out the thread, and we'll announce the winner at the bottom of the 8th inning, and you'll get a little shout out on the broadcast. So again, who was the only player to both pitch and hit in the same game for the Firebirds in 2019? That's the trivia question. I want to see all those Firebirds nerds out there. I know there's so many that know every single little stat about the team. Putting your knowledge to the test. But until then, we got a great game going on between Cotuit and Firebirds, so I'm going to send it back to Carlo and Gareth in the booth. Guys?
All right, thanks so much, Noah Searson. And for Orleans, they're going to bring on a new pitcher. Connor Thurman's night is done. And now taking the hill for Orleans is the right-hander, the redshirt senior from Southern New Hampshire University, Jeff Pramel. Jeff, 6'4", 185 pounds from Bridgewater, New Jersey. He's a temporary player on the roster. Carlo, what should we know about Jeff Pramel?
Yeah, Pramel had a pretty good year with Southern New Hampshire, D2 University. Had a 3.82 ERA and 70 2/3 innings pitched. Only walked 14 guys and struck out 84. So he's got absolutely terrific command. In a championship game in the D2 regionals this year, he struck out 14 batters and was a big part of a staff that led his team to the D2 College World Series, where he pitched in the championship game, went 8 innings, gave up 2 earned runs and 5 hits. So he's got great command, doesn't walk a lot of guys, and trying to prove his name coming from a D2 university.
He's going to face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Cotuit. Brooks Baldwin, Blake Klassen, and Matthew Donlin. Here in the top of the 5th, Pramel working from the stretch. First pitch is a fastball just above the belt for ball 1 at 90 miles an hour. 1 ball and no strikes to Brooks Baldwin, who grounded out to first back in the 2nd inning. 1-0 pitch popped up. This is going to be right overhead us, behind us, and out of play. We're just off the right hand is batter's box. Just off to the left.
Thought you had that one with a bare hand.
It was probably a good, actually that was pretty close. That was a good 10 feet away from us, I'd say. 10 or 20 feet.
Closest one we've had.
I'd say. 1-1. Baldwin ropes one into left center field. Thomas giving chase. He's gonna dive. And he made the basket catch. Ryland Thomas covering ground out there in center field. 1 away here in the 5th.
Well, in the preseason interviews Garrett Gillimet did with our great Noah Searson on Meet the Bird Games, Garrett said, I've never seen somebody cover center field like Ryland Thomas. And this
I mean, look at him. You can see there the play that he made that took away a base hit from Brooks Baldwin. Very nice job done. And now here taking over is Blake Klassen. First pitch is a slider that misses just a bit low and in, ball one. Klassen, who popped out to the shortstop back in the 5th inning. Has a lot of power from that left side. Here's the pitch. And a broken bat line drive caught by Jace Young. He climbs the ladder and makes a fantastic catch out there at second. The Firebirds defense on full display here in this 5th inning, and there's 2 down.
We know what Jace can do with a bat, but what a play with his glove. And 2 singles stolen by this defense of Orleans.
Broken bat defensive highlight from Young as Donlin digs in now for Cotuit, and he takes ball one outside and low. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Good breaking ball that is right down the middle. Count even up at 1 to Donlin. Bramall releases that ball, low 3/4 release. 1 ball, 2 strikes as he pounds a fastball down the middle. Donlin back in the 3rd inning struck out. For the future, for the current UConn Husky, the pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2 fastball, and he blows it past Donlin at 89 miles an hour. 1-2-3, 5th inning thrown by Jeff Pramel with the help of his defense. We now move to the home half of the 5th. It's Orleans 4, Cotuit nothing here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Your Orleans Firebirds would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Order your favorite team's design or to create your own. Visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin's gloves. Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teenage driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, proud sponsor of Cape Cod Baseball. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Jimenez. Much appreciated as always. I'm going to say that every time, you know.
I'll always appreciate you saying you appreciate
it. Thank you very much. Hey, Appreciation Day is always here at Eldridge. Let's move on now to the home half of the 5th inning. Hamilton Oliver remaining in the game, and boy, he's got a tough task here as he's going to face off against Jace Young, Tyler Locklear, and Chase DeLauder. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters, and the 3 hitters in the Orleans lineup who are all the best in hitting the long ball. So should be quite the task for Hamilton Oliver. After a nice 1-2-3 inning thrown by Jeff Pramel, the temporary player from Southern New Hampshire University. And he got some help along the way from his defense. Rylan Thomas making a nice running catch. Little tumbling catch out in left center field. And then Jace Young, who's at the plate right now, with a nice leaping catch out in second to rob a base hit away. Young now digs in. And he shows bunt. Takes a first pitch breaking ball on the outside. 0-1.
43 home runs in the collegiate season between these next 3 batters. See if they can send one past the outfield fence.
Overshift is on for Young. A 1 pitch, another breaking ball, that time a bit outside. Count even up at 1. You got the shortstop Brown playing at least 15 feet off to the right of second. Second baseman Gold out in shallow right. On 1 pitch, swing and a foul off the netting to the left, and the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Texas Tech second baseman and the Big 12 Player of the Year, Jace Young. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oliver from the windup deals. Fastball just a bit high and outside at 88 miles an hour, and the count now will go 2-2. 2-2 offering to Young. Breaking ball poked foul down the left field line. Just a emergency swing there from Jace Young. You don't see many emergency swings from Jace with how talented he is at the plate, but that time he was not expecting the breaking ball whatsoever, just had to flail his arms out. 2-2. Topped over to third, perfectly positioned is the third baseman Cummings. Throws a rifle to first in time to get Young by about a step and a half. Out number 1 here in the last of the 5th. Third baseman Cummings on that play, positioned out near shortstop because of the shift, and he was perfectly placed, and that's exactly where the ball went off the bat of Jace Young. Here's Tyler Locklear now, right-handed hitter from VCU, takes a first pitch breaking ball inside for ball 1. Hamilton Oliver. Baseball America rated Oliver's name as the number 10 best name in the NCAA. 1-0 pitch is down and in for ball 2 with the breaking ball 2-0.
Who's number 1?
The top 3 here, Carlo, were Zebulon Vermillion from Arkansas, Zacchaeus Raspberry from Presbyterian, and number 1, Itchy Burtz from Texas A&M Corpus Christi. There's a slow roller to second. Gold will feel on the run and fire to first in time for out number 2. 2 down now here in the last of the 5th.
Our producer, Bryce Johnson, tells us Zebula is a former Firebird.
Zebulon Vermillion from Arkansas, former Firebird. How about the first name, though? Itchy Burtz. That's an interesting one.
That's definitely a number 1.
Hamilton Oliver at that top 10 as Chase DeLauder takes a first pitch strike at the knees for a called strike. Cotuit actually has another guy here, Carlo, in this top 10, Alaska Abney. How about the first name Alaska? And he's in the top 10 according to Baseball America as DeLauder takes a breaking ball down low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They're also going to get one of my favorite names in college baseball, Brock Jones from Stanford.
1-1 pitch, breaking ball popped up down the left field line. And that is going to be out of play for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And, I mean, speaking of Brock Jones, we watched the game yesterday. Heartbreaking way for the Cardinal to end their season against Vanderbilt in the 9th.
And Brendan Beck's so good, and then it all just fell apart.
Maybe we'll see some of those Stanford guys on the Cape soon. 1-2 pitch to DeLauder, checks his swing on the pitch in the dirt, holds up, and the count will now be even 2-2. Connor Cox is on deck for Orleans if DeLauder can extend the inning here. Big, tall left-handed hitter with massive power. 2 on, nobody out. The pitch, breaking ball outside, and now the count will run full 3-2. Pardon me, should say nobody on, 2 outs. Here. Right-hander Oliver versus the left-handed hitting DeLauder. The pitch on 3-2, and a swing and a miss. DeLauder breaks down his swing, and Oliver with 6 up, 6 down, and 2 innings of relief so far. That's strikeout number 1 on the outing for him. We now move to the 6th. It's 4-0 Orleans here from Eldridge.
Hi, I'm Steve Anzoni, owner of Fairway Financial and Cape Cod's Retirement Income Specialist. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, schedule a time to meet with me today.
Get more details at fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
3 up, 3 down inning thrown by Cotuit reliever Hamilton Oliver. And we are now in the top of the 6th inning. Firebirds 4, Cotuit nothing. All 4 runs coming in the bottom of the 3rd. Cotuit pitching struggled in that home half of the 3rd inning. There were 4 walks as the first pitch to Roberts is grounded down the left field line fair. And this will go into foul ground. Roberts turning the corner at first, headed for second with a head first slide. He's safe. The number 9 hitter, Brett Roberts, with a bounding ball just fair inside the third base line and past the dive of the third baseman Locklear, and he is aboard now to lead off the 6th with nobody out.
Yeah, Roberts got great speed, but he kind of stumbled around first. Arms was flailing. I think he was running a little too fast for his own good, trying to keep his balance, and that's why he had to slow up a little bit into second and just got there in time.
Third hit of the game for the Kettleers, and this will bring up the top of the order now. Eric Brown standing tall. First pitch from Pramel, and it's way outside, goes to the backstop, and easily taking third is Roberts. Undoubtedly a wild pitch on Jeff Pramel. That one just completely missing his target. And Kettleers on the verge of getting their first run of the game with Roberts 90 feet away. Infield will play back. They'll trade the run for an out here in the 6th. 1-0 pitch, another one in the dirt. Mickness that time with an excellent block. Almost the same exact spot from the wild pitch that Pramel threw. This time Mickness had to throw his body out in front to block that one from going to the backstop. Count 2-0 to the Coastal Carolina shortstop Eric Brown. From the stretch, here's the pitch on the 2-0. And a swing off the hands and foul back in front of us on our broadcast table. Our producer, Bryce Johnson, he's got the hands ready, even though we're protected with the netting. 2 balls, no strikes to Eric Brown, who was a middle-of-the-order hitter for the Chanticleers this past season. He led the team in RBIs. And on the 3-0 pitch, or pardon me, the 2-1, he gets drilled in on the shoulder. And Jeff Pramel, boy, his control was way off in that at-bat against Eric Brown. Had 2 pitches go way in the dirt outside, and then a fastball, tried to get it in tight, and he threw it a little bit too in tight, and he gets Brown on the left shoulder, and Kettleers have runners on the corners with nobody out.
Nick Cole getting warm in the bullpen for the Orleans. See how much more of a leash Jeff Pramel has.
Here's Cummings now for Cotuit. First pitch, fastball down the middle for a called strike, 0-1. Cummings today 0 for 2, a ground out to second and a strikeout in the 4th. Good speed on the base paths with Brown at first. Pramel with a snap throw over to first, and back in time safely is Brown with a head first dive.
We saw this situation in Orleans' favor on opening night. Firebirds sent the double steal and were able to take advantage of an infield that is not too familiar with each other.
2-1 pitch, high fly ball, well hit to center field. Thomas backtracking, still going, and it's going to go off the wall on the bounce. Coming in to score is Roberts. They're going to wave in Brown. The relay throw will go into third as Cummins standing in the third with a 2-run triple. A ball that was absolutely hammered to straightaway center field to the deep part of the park near the 434 out in right center. And no chance for Rylan Thomas to get that one, and Cotuit has sliced this lead in half. It's 4-2 Orleans. And that's going to do it for Jeff Pramel. Kelly Nicholson making the walk out to the mound. And Pramel hands him the ball. Tying run will come to the plate for Cotuit here in John Rhodes. Pitching change for the Firebirds when we come back here. It's 4-2 Firebirds here in the top of the 6th. Four-2 Firebirds, a 2-run triple by Cole Cummins to straightaway center field has cut the lead in half. And the tying run will come to the plate here in John Rhodes, and new pitcher for Orleans will come and face John Rhodes. It's going to be the right-hander, Carter Smith, rising sophomore from Brigham Young University, 6'3", 210 from Lehigh, Utah. Carlo, what should we know about Carter Smith?
Yeah, Carter, this is his second appearance with the Firebirds. Pitched here on opening night, went 2 innings, didn't give up a run, and 2 hits. He's got a fastball, curveball, slider. You're going to see the slider more to righties and the curveball more to lefties.
So he's now got to face a couple of good hitters in the Cotuit lineup here with nobody out. Rhodes, Beavers, and Gold. There's nobody out. Runner on third. First pitch from Smith. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove of Mickness. Strike 1. Rhodes is 1 for 2 today. Single back in the first to left, and then a ground out to third back in the fourth. Infield playing back again. 0-1. Breaking ball. Slider like you talked about, Carlo, and it catches the outside corner. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to John Rhodes, who hit 11 home runs and drove in 36 with the Kentucky Wildcats this spring. Certainly capable of tying up the game with 1 swing. 0-2. Another breaking ball, that time way outside. And now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dylan Beavers on deck for Cotuit. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a tap, foul, just out in front of Rhodes. As the ball just sticks out toward the right-handed batter's box. Stays put. We'll do it again, 1-2. To John Rhodes. Here's the pitch. Fastball bit in tight. Count even up at 2.
Smith has to be careful. John Rhodes has got a really good power. 11 home runs his freshman season at Kentucky.
The pitch. Grounded to second. Young has to charge. Fields it out in front. Throws on the run for the out. Cotuit grabs another run as coming in to score is Cole Cummings. It's now 4-3 Firebirds here in the 6th.
Well, Rhodes does his job by bringing the run across. And now the home run champion of the Pac-12 in a 1-run game digs in.
3 runs here in the 6th for Cotuit, and Dylan Beavers will stand in. 1 out, nobody on. First pitch, swing, and a foul. That one got a piece of the catcher Mickness on the left wrist. Strike 1. Beavers is 1 for 2 today. A strikeout victim in the first, and then a sharp single to left back in the fourth. Another guy fully capable of tying up the score with one swing. Takes a 0-1 pitch, down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Between innings, I'll be right there.
Beavers, who led the Golden Bears in home runs, runs batted in, doubles, runs, and walks. Almost every major offensive category. Swings at the 1-1 pitch and waves at a breaking ball down the middle. Count 1-2 to Dylan Beavers. Boston College second baseman Luke Gold on deck for Cotuit. Carter Smith, the right-hander from BYU. From the stretch, the 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to second. Young, a couple shuffles to his right. Fields has to get rid of it quickly, and he does just in time, with Beavers motoring down the first base line. In time for out number 2 here in the 6th.
The second baseman from BC, number 15.
So Jace Young has been awfully busy out there at second base tonight. Already 4 putouts from the second baseman today, and now Luke Gold, right-handed hitting second baseman, takes a first pitch fastball down the middle, 0-1. Gold 0 for 2, struck out looking in the second, and then grounded out to Thurman in the 4th. The pitch, hit on the ground to third, that's going to be foul down the third base line, and it's now 0-2 to the power hitting infielder from Boston College. He led the Eagles in home runs and runs batted in. Had 9 homers on the year and 45 driven in. 0-2, Smith throws. Breaking ball hit the other way, foul off to the right and onto the hill. Remains 0-2. Orleans in the home half of the 6th, they'll have Cox, Moss, and McKenzie. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters queued up. The pitch, look out. Almost hits Gold in the helmet. He had to back out of the way. He's all right, though, and now they count 1-2. As you take a look here. Watch out. One and two. Smith, deep breath, throws. Breaking ball, popped foul behind home plate and behind the netting. 1-2. Almost full darkness here has set here at Eldridge Park. Had a beautiful sunset a couple innings ago. Nice peachy color. But now starting to go into darkness. 1-2. Smith pit throws. And that one hits the helmet of Gold. Man. So Carter Smith. Well, earlier in the inning, you had Jeff Pramel hit Eric Brown on the shoulder. And now, Gold gets hit in the helmet. Luckily, he's all right. So control has been a bit of an issue tonight for both sides today. 2 down, runner on first, and now the left-handed hitting infielder from UNC Wilmington, Brooks Baldwin. First pitch at the knees, 0-1. 3 runs here in the 6th for Cotuit. A 2-run triple from Cole Cummings to right center field, and then an RBI ground out from John Rhodes. A 1 pitch, a swing and a foul as it hits the netting just to the left of the press box, and it's quickly 0-2. Bullpen trying to do its part. Gold at first, Here's the pitch, 0-2, Baldwin, high fly ball along the left field line. This will go out of play. Baldwin's 0 for 2, a ground out to first in the second, and then a fly out to center in the fifth. Hitting in the sixth spot tonight, while mainly serving as UNC Wilmington's leadoff man this spring. One of the best players in the Colonial Athletic Association. 0-2 pitch is high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Baldwin with 79 hits on the season, which led the conference and led the team. From the stretch, 1-2, breaking ball, and Baldwin just gets a piece. Thought for a second Mickness was able to hang on, but instead Baldwin lives to see another pitch. It's 1-2. Carter Smith trying to send this game to the last of the sixth. 1-2 with Gold at first. He has his lead. The pitch. Line drive down the right field line. It's going to get down. Gold rounding second. He's headed for third. Holding at first is going to be Brooks Baldwin. So Baldwin with his first hit of the season, and it couldn't have come at a much better time. Got a pitch over the middle. Challenge fastball from Carter Smith, and he didn't make a mistake. With a line single to right. And now, pitching coach Matt Troop will have a quick word with Carter Smith in what has been quite the shaky inning for Orleans pitching here in this top of the sixth. Already in this inning for Orleans, or pardon me, for Cotuit, they've scored 3 runs, and they've done it on 3 hits. There is some more activity in the Orleans bullpen. So here, standing in now, is Blake Klassen. Klassen, first pitch from Smith. Breaking ball, high and outside. Ball 1. Luke Gold at third. Brooks Baldwin at first. 4-3 Orleans here, but the lead in danger. From the stretch, here's the 1-0. Swing and a high pop up, and that one is onto South Orleans Road. Behind the third base line, it's 1-1. Klassen is 0 for 2 today. Popped out to short back in the second, and then lined out to second back in the fifth. 1-1. Fastball, and it's in the dirt. Mickness scoops it out. 2 balls and a strike. The control from Jeff Pramel and Carter Smith, both guys who have pitched here in this top of the sixth, has been far from ideal. Two-one pitch in the dirt again. Mickness able to block it as it skips out just a couple of feet off to his left, and it's now 3-1 to Blake Klassen. And now Justin Mickness will have a conversation, and he'll trot out to the mound. So the walks that plagued Cotuit back in the home half of the third inning has seemingly transferred over now to Orleans here in the top of the sixth. They've gotten ahead into 0-2 counts, but they just have not been able to seal the deal. 3 balls and a strike. With the catcher Matthew Donlin on deck for Cotuit. 3-1 pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. That one, a beauty from Smith. So 3-2, runners on the corners. The runner at first, Baldwin's going to get a head start. And you do not want to load the bases here and allow Donlin a chance. The pitch, swing and a miss. In the dirt, Mickness fields. He will toss over to first in time to retire the side. The lead is still intact for Orleans. It's 4-3 as we enter the bottom of the 6th. Kettleers pick up 3 in that inning, and they do it on 3 hits, no errors, and they strand 2. Bottom 6 here from Eldridge Park. Orleans 4, Cotuit 3 here on the Broadcast Network.
Now we're going to try finding Noah again. Try to find our sideline reporter, Noah Searson, somewhere in the outfield. Noah, can you hear us? Noah, you out there?
Yeah, can you hear me, Carlo?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Very nice.
Alrighty, so my first hint today is that my hiding spot is based upon the golf round that Gareth and I had yesterday. It's a place we found ourselves probably more than we would have liked to.
All right. I'm going to guess in the trees.
Is that what you think about our golf game? I know we didn't have scores. Gareth didn't keep track. Not a bad little guesstimate from you there, Carlo, though.
Do we see him?
I know, I'm
I'll
still.
tell you, I'm wearing my blue jacket now. So
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
red and blue.
What?
that is not
What's
allowed.
going on here?
I'm very visible, though.
Red and blue.
That may be just in your opinion, though. Come on now.
Come on, don't let me go 2-0.
I'm looking.
The inning's about to end.
Oh, man. Gareth, you got anything?
Ryland's walking up to the plate.
Oh, boy.
And we
Yeah.
might be chalking this one up to another
And-
Noah dub.
Oh, my goodness. Please.
Center field, check me out. In the trees.
In the tree. Oh, you were blending in with the tree. I don't know if that's fair.
A little bit.
I don't know.
Little camouflage
I don't
action.
know about all that.
All right, 2-0 Noah. Love to see it.
Well, Noah Searson racks up another dub in finding Noah, and man, I think we're just gonna have to make. He's gonna have to make it easier on us. Connor Cox, first pitch swing into left field. The ball is trapped by the shortstop Eric Brown, but it's gonna be an infield single for Connor Cox. Second hit of the ball game for Connor, and so that's how this 6th inning gets started. Orleans just trying to tack on some more runs after what happened in the top of the 6th. Kettleers putting home 3 runs on 3 hits. And they've made this a much more interesting game. Here's Jack Moss, the Texas A&M first baseman, who takes ball 1 outside. 1-0 to J-Mo. Moss is 0 for 2. Ground out in the 2nd and a strikeout in the 3rd. The pitch, line drive down the left field line, and that is a fair ball into the corner. Headed for 3rd and trying to get over to 3rd is Cox, and he is thrown out at 3rd base by the left fielder Baldwin. So Connor Cox trying to go from 1st to 3rd on a line drive single off the bat of Jack Moss down the left field line, and instead he is thrown out. 1 away.
Cox ran right through the stop sign. He did not look up towards 3rd, and he was thrown out.
So for Jack Moss, that's his first hit of the summer, although albeit a little bit bittersweet as Cox is unable to make it to 3rd, and Jared McKenzie takes ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to McKenzie. Left-handed hitting outfielder from Baylor. Swing and a miss in the dirt, gets away, and it goes toward the on-deck circle of Orleans, and Moss will head on over to 2nd. on a pitch that got away from the catcher, Donlin. So mark that as a wild pitch, and Donlin will have a quick word with Hamilton Oliver, who remains in this game. Oliver, who came on at the beginning of the 4th inning, and he's in for his 3rd inning of relief. Runner in scoring position for the Firebirds here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-1. McKenzie swings, high fly ball, shallow hit into left field, and backpedaling and making the catch out in shallow left is the shortstop, Eric Brown. And he's got it for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Number 16, Justin Mickness.
So now he'll bring up the Kent State catcher, Justin Mickness. Justin is 1 for 2 tonight, a base hit to left in the 3rd, and then a ground out to 2nd back in the 4th. Open stance, first pitch. McNiss takes ball 1 down low. Cox singled to begin the inning. Moss singled, but then Cox was thrown out trying to stretch it from 1st to 3rd. And then a pop out by McKenzie. McNiss on the 1-0 takes up high. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Jordan Sprinkle, Orleans' leadoff man in the lineup, is on deck if McNiss can reach. Cotuit 3, Orleans 4 here from Eldridge. Only game on the Cape on this Thursday. The pitch, 2-0 is up high. They throw down the 2nd, and the throw airmails the shortstop Brooks, and it goes into center field. Moss sliding into 3rd. That ball now gets away from the 3rd baseman Cummings. Luckily, Oliver there to back up the throw. Some sloppy defense from Cotuit as Donlin had the opportunity. He saw it to try and nab Moss, who was far off 2nd, but his throw way over the head of the shortstop Brown, I should say. And Moss is able to take 3rd.
Yeah, Jack Moss would have been out by a mile if Donlin put that ball where it needed to be.
An E2 on Donlin. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and it's down the middle. Count now 3-1. Justin McNiss trying to add on what would be a very important insurance run. 3-1 pitch, McNiss swing, high fly ball, and out of play into the trees and over on South Orleans Road. And now the count will run full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Oliver now working from the windup. Here's the 3-2, and it's in the dirt, and it gets away from the catcher, Donlin. Moss is coming home, and he will score. Wild pitch from Hamilton Oliver, and so Jack Moss, who reached on a single, he advances to 2nd on a wild pitch, advances to 3rd on an error, on a bad throw, an overthrow by the catcher Donlin, and now he comes home on a wild pitch. The Cotuit defense certainly helping out the Firebirds to make it a 5-3 game now. Jordan Sprinkle digs in. First pitch, fastball at the knees, strike 1.
And Cotuit's really got to be kicking themselves in this game. Between the 3rd inning where they walked 4 and hit a runner, and then 270 free feet to Jack Moss. I mean, it's been handed to Orleans so far today.
A lot of gifts from the Kettleers tonight as Sprinkle chops one to short. Brown will go the short way to 2nd for the 4th out, and that will end the inning. But the Firebirds do play home an additional run. They get it on 2 hits, and they do it on an error, and they strand 1. To the 7th we go. Carlo Jimenez will be back on the play-by-play as we come back. 5-3 Firebirds here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Anzoni, owner of Fairway Financial and Cape Cod's Retirement Income Specialist. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, schedule a time to meet with me today.
Get more details at fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
Welcome back to Miss Eldridge. Carlo Menendez alongside Gareth Clark, bringing you the top of the 7th inning. Gareth, new pitcher on the mound, Nick Holt. First time we're seeing Nick. Tell us a little about the rising senior from GCU.
Yeah, Nick, 6 feet, 190 from Bothell, Washington. He's a temporary player on the roster, but he was one of GCU's go-to relievers out of the bullpen. In 18 appearances, he had a 3-1 record and a 1.77 ERA in 35 2/3 innings pitched. 13 walks, over 39 strikeouts, and he had the lowest ERA in the entire GCU pitching staff, which is quite impressive itself for that GCU team that was able to qualify for the NCAA tournament. But what you'll see from Holt, he's got a 4-pitch sequence. He can throw that fastball in the high 80s, low 90s. He's got a slider, curveball, and he does have a changeup, although he won't throw it very often. So he's a good 3-pitch mix, and he's coming in here to try and get the Firebirds a clean 7th after what was a very up and down 6th inning.
Yeah, 3-run 6th inning by the Cotuit Kettleers to make this a 1-run game. Hull will face the 8-9-1 spots in the top of the 7th inning. Matthew Donnellan, Brad Roberts, and then Eric Brown Jr. at the top of the lineup as he gets his final warm-up pitch in and we get going. Top of the 7th inning, the first time the Firebirds welcome in a West Division opponent. It's the defending 2019 Cape Cod League champion Cotuit Kettleers, and they lead by 2 as we open up the top of the 7th. The right-hander Hull digs in. Talking to Mickness right before, I wonder if they were just going over signs. And looks on towards the right-handed batter, Donnellan. Hull exhales, first pitch. Swinging a foul straight back. Donnellan pants were white, now covered in dirt from sliding around behind the plate today. He has been active. He's really had to show why he's one of the best defensive catchers in the Cape. Holes 0-1. Swinging a foul back to the screen. And the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Lights are on here at Eldridge Park. The only game on the Cape headed to the top of the 7th. A good one between Orleans and Cotuit. Hull looks towards the sky, looks in 0-2. Misses high. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. 3-run 6th inning for Cotuit. Made this a 1-run game before Orleans was able to push across a run in the bottom of the 6th. 1-2. Off the outside. Good block by Mickness, moving to his right. And the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty. Top 7. Good crowd still on hand. Some people starting to retreat back home on this Thursday night. Hull looks on. Is 2-2 to the plate. Breaking ball on the outside. Strike 3 called. Nick Hull starts his Orleans Firebirds career on the right foot as he gets Matthew Donnellan looking. And there's 1 away in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, nice breaking ball by Hull, although it was a bit of a high strike, and I was definitely a little bit surprised to see the home plate umpire, John DiGirolamo, ring him up, given how tight his strike zone has been. But fortunately for Firebirds fans, he gets the call.
Base is empty, 1 away. Top of the 7th inning, right-handed batter Brett Roberts into the box. First pitch, and he waves at a fastball, 90 from Nick Hull on that heater, and the count, no balls, 1 strike. Orleans 5, Cotuit 3. Brown came around to score in the 6th inning. He was hit by a pitch. The shortstop Looks on with the bases empty and one away. Here comes the 0-1, and he swings and misses. This time 91 from Nick Cole, who's pumping fastballs past Brett Roberts. Cole staying ahead of the count. Looks on towards the righty. Orleans trying to bounce back after a loss to Chatham Monday. 0-2. Lays off the breaking ball, 78. As that ball misses downstairs, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cole tucks the glove under his left arm, the ball behind his right hip as he stares in towards McNiss. He then exhales, kicks, 1-2, swinging a ground ball down the third base line, trickling, foul, just in front of the third base pad. Locklear was playing deep in the dirt. He would not have had a chance against the speedster Roberts, and luckily that ball goes to the left of the third base line, and the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Eric Brown Jr. leaves Roberts' bat on its head at the plate as Roberts walks back and picks it up. Very kind of him for his teammate. The base is empty, 1 away, top of the 7th inning. Orleans 5, Cotuit 3. 1-2. Swinging a line shot over the head of the first baseman Moss and into right field, a base hit. A 1-out single for Brett Roberts brings the tying run to the plate. In the top of the 7th, and it's the leadoff man, Eric Brown Jr.
The shortstop from Coastal Carolina, number 2, Eric Brown.
Brown scored back in the 6th inning. It was one of those 3 runs in the top of the 6th. Cotuit able to push across. Runner at first is Roberts, who's got good speed for this Cotuit team. First pitch home. Catches the strike zone. And the count, no balls and 1 strike to Eric Brown Jr. Roberts stole 17 bases at Tennessee Tech. He was caught stealing 9 times, though. So stole a lot, but caught a lot. Orleans 5, Cotuit 3. Top 7, 0-1. Strike on the outside edge, 91 on the fastball. And once again, second straight batter. Nick Cole ahead of the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Roberts with a small lead down at first. Cole looks in, Roberts takes a large secondary lead, and now fakes a throw back there, does Nick Cole. And Roberts back on his feet. Three hits, 6 runs, 1 error. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, for Cotuit. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Orleans. There's a throw down to first. Picked out by Moss, back is Roberts sliding. And so 2 looks down to first base. Eric Brown Jr.'s had a lot of time to think about this 0-2 pitch as he climbs back in.
Been a long waiting game there between hitter and batter.
Cole peeking over his left shoulder towards first. He'll deal 0-2. And a swing and a line shot up the middle into center field, a base hit. Roberts stops at second. Back-to-back knocks for Cotuit. And the tying runs are on the base paths with the go-ahead coming to the plate in Cole Cummings.
Boy, that was a rocket off the bat of Eric Brown. And almost took off Nick Cole's face out there and on the mound. That went right back where it came from, and this is where it gets dangerous at this part of the lineup, especially with Cummins and what he did back in the 6th.
Cummings had 2 on and nobody out in the 6th and tripled to right center. He's got 2 on and 1 out in the top of the 7th, trying to do some more damage. Orleans hanging on by 2 with the go-ahead run at the plate. First pitch home to the lefty. Strike. 91 on the fastball. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Donnellan struck out looking. Roberts singled. He's at second. Brown singled behind him. He's at first. Cotuit sitting at 1-1. Thought they had a win on Tuesday night, but the game was rained out before it could reach the 5th. 0-1. Strike. quickly 0-2. So Nick Cole, his last 3 batters he's faced, he's been up 0-2. But the last 2 batters have picked up singles. Let's see what he does in the driver's seat here to Cole Cummings. Already 2 RBIs tonight for the lefty. Looking for more with his team down 2. Cole looks at Roberts at second, 0-2. Swing and a miss, blows the fastball by him, and there's 2 away in the top of the 7th.
3 straight fastballs against Cole Cummings, who, again, he drilled a fastball back in the 6th to right center field, and you have to figure a hole. That's some gutsy pitching right there to throw 3 right past Cummings after a bat ago. He just hit a home, or not a home run, I should say. He hit a triple to right center.
He hit a home run in nearly every other ballpark.
That's for sure.
You want to know if your pitcher's confident. Nick Cole's a confident guy. 2 on, 2 out, top 7 in a 2-run game, and it's the right John Rhodes. First pitch to Rhodes at the knees for a strike. Curveball finds the zone. The count, no balls and 1 strike. Rhodes singled back in the first. For a while, that was the only hit of the game for Cotuit. He's grounded out to third and to second. Roberts at second, Brown at first. Tying runs on the base paths for Cotuit. Can Nick Cole keep this a 2-run game? Looks at second, 0-1. On the outside for a strike. Boy, does Nick Cole know how to stay ahead of the count. And for the 4th straight batter, he's up 0-2.
Yeah, he's not afraid to use that fastball to try and get ahead. Not afraid to throw it in the zone. But then he's got that good slider, and it's sitting around the mid-70s. It's that 2-pitch mix that we're seeing right now.
Putting these Cotuit Kettleers on their heels. Orleans 5, Cotuit 3. Top 7, 0-2. Upstairs. Rhodes able to lay off a high fastball. Cotuit struggled with high fastballs in their first 2 games. Talking to the Cotuit broadcasters before this game, they said at practice after the struggles against Hyannis before the Wareham game, all Mike Roberts did was deliver them high fastballs on the pitching machine, and they had to fight them off. And Rhodes lays off that one. 1-2 home. Runners go. Swing and a miss, and that will do it. 3 strikeouts in the 7th, 2 hits, 2 left on, but no runs come across. Nick Cole able to work out of a jam as we head to the middle of the 7th. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Noah Searson.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Noah Searson. Noah, what do you got for us?
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. So far, Cole and I, I'm not going to brag, been spot on the Orleans Firebirds. They've gotten the big inning, and they got some great pitching out of Connor Thurman. And not only that, they've been able to stick to their plan. They had Bramwell go. Nick Hall went that inning, had good command of his curve. He'll likely go in the 8th. Now, in the pen, before the game, it sounded like Michael Polk was going to be the closer, the big 6'3" frame. He throws a hard fastball. He had great command in his first outing against Harwich, so look for Polk in the 9th, but also Jake Sum. He struggled a little bit in the game against Chatham, but that was his first time pitching since he had a hand injury at UCLA. He's a lefty, so Kelly likely to play matchups here in this 8th and 9th inning. That's what's going on in the pen. Guys are really loose, having a good time. Close ball game, 5-3, of course. So I'll send it back to you guys in the booth for the conclusion of this one.
Appreciate the insight, Noah. Great as always. New pitcher on the mound for the Cotuit Kettleers as we open up the bottom of the 7th inning. It's Max Gig in this 5-3 Orleans lead. Gareth, what can you tell us about Mr. Gig?
Max Gig, a rising sophomore from Boston College. He's a big, tall right-hander, 6'5", 230, as you see there, from Lynn, Massachusetts. He's a local product in 12 appearances this season. An 8.31 ERA, 17 1/3 innings pitch, just 9 strikeouts over 12 walks. And this was his first season out of the bullpen for the Eagles after missing all of 2020 due to an injury. And he got knocked around a little bit, gave up more than a hit per inning. But this coaching staff for Boston College, they like his upside. They think he has a lot of explosive stuff, and this is an opportunity for him to showcase what he has and showcase his stuff and do it at a high level against some of the best hitters on the Cape.
Yeah, it will be some of the best hitters. Rylan Thomas, Jace Young, and Tyler Locklear with Chase DeLauder on the outside to open up the bottom of the 7th inning. Orleans 5, Cotuit 3. And it starts with a left-handed batter, Thomas. First pitch. And he swings and lines one over South Orleans Road, over the top of the screen. Almost hit a car. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. I feel like we say that at least 3 or 4 times a day. Almost hit a car.
We're just waiting till it's only, what, game 3? We're waiting for that moment to come.
0-1. Thomas puts the bunt down, bunts it down the third baseline. Fielded by Gig. He throws to first. It's wide. Thomas around first, on his way to second. He's in there standing. Rylan Thomas puts the bunt down, causes commotion, and he's in scoring position to lead off the bottom of the 7th.
Well, Rylan Thomas, he's been waiting a long time for him to get his opportunity. And he's made a nice defensive play, and he's been able to showcase his speed. And mark that one as an infield hit with the bunt, and then an error on the pitcher to get Thomas in the scoring position. And the insurance runs are at a premium here for Orleans.
So it's a left-handed batter, Jace Young, opening offering. Look out, misses inside. 92 miles an hour on the fastball from Gig. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes to Young. Second error of the ball game on Cotuit. And Rylan Thomas, in his short couple of games with Orleans, is really impressed so far. The 1-0. Misses inside again. This time Jace bounces out of the batter's box as he leans forward after bending backward. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Thomas so far today, Gareth, a double, a walk, and a run. And back on second base, along with a nice basket catch in center field. Gig looks at Thomas at second, 2-0 home. Oh, he fakes a throw back towards Thomas. And he hangs on to the baseball. Firebirds facing the 2019 Cape Cod League champions. 2-0. Misses away. 3 balls and no strikes. And you think, Gareth, with Thomas at second and first base open, you're not going to give anything towards Jace Young.
No, not at all. But I just want to go back to Rylan Thomas and the opportunities he's gotten, and he's been able to showcase. He's been able to showcase that line drive ability to right center, the speed on the defense, and then here the bunting ability, and he's over there at second.
3-0, low, and Jace will jog down to first as there's 2 on with nobody out to open up the top of the 7th, and an opportunity for Orleans to add some cushion to that 2-run lead as up comes the right-handed batter, Tyler Locklear. Mike Roberts, the skipper for Cotuit.
And it looks like third base coach for Orleans, Brendan Eigerbrode's going to have a quick conversation with Tyler Locklear as well.
Shortstop Brown coming in to talk to the pitcher, Gig. We're a couple games in. We saw a shift for the first time today, and the mind games are starting. So in stands the right-handed batter, Tyler Locklear. Thomas with speed at second, Young at first. Nobody out, top of the 7th. Orleans leading Cotuit 5-3. Locklear shows bunt, and Gig doesn't throw. Instead, he looks towards second base. Chase DeLauder is on deck. This is a power lineup for Orleans. A lot of home run hitters, including Locklear, who had 16 for VCU. And stepping off again is Gig.
I know it's a sacrifice situation given second and first with nobody out, but I'd still be pretty surprised to see Locklear lay down a bunt given what he can do with the bat and his power.
Right now he holds it behind his head. Gig looking at Thomas. The pitch. Locklear taking, doesn't show bunt, and takes strike 1. The count, no balls, 1 strike to him. When Noah Searson, our sideline reporter, talked to skipper Kelly Nicholson, he said maybe in situations like this where he would, in the past, bunt, let his guys swing away. 0-1. Misses high. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. And Locklear, ever since showing bunt, hasn't put the bunt back down.
Yeah, he's certainly drawing in the corner infielders here, Cummings and Klassen from third to first. But again, I'd be awfully surprised to see Locklear if he eventually lays down a bunt.
1-1 on its way to the right-handed batter. And he swings and misses. Slider has him chasing, and the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's a nice breaking ball from Gig. running away from a right-handed hitter, and it just nosedives for a ball, but you just think it's going to be a good pitch to hit, and he got Locklear there.
So 2 strikes now on Locklear. Young at first, Thomas at second. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. 1-2. Locklear starts, stops, and stops in time, says first base umpire Mark Delaney. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Thomas bunted aboard, then an error by Gig, trying to throw him out at first, moved him to second. Jace Jung took a 4-pitch walk. He's at first. Orleans leading Cotuit 5-3, looking for more. 2-2 on its way. Swinging a slow roller towards short. Shortstop Brown, underhand flip to second. They get Jung. On to first goes Locklear. Thomas into third, and runners to the corners with 1 out for Chase DeLauder. So Locklear on this slow infield at Orleans, able to get aboard. On the fielder's choice. And up comes Chase DeLauder. DeLauder's been quiet, really ever since he had that terrific opening night. First pitch to lefty, and he swings and drives one into center field towards the deepest part of the ballpark. Going back is Rhodes on the run. He makes the catch. Thomas tagging from third. He's in there safely. And in a rundown is Locklear. He did not see that ball get caught, and he is doubled up back at first base. And so the run will not count for the Firebirds.
Well, I think the home plate umpire,
or will it?
Home plate umpire John DiGirolamo was pointing at home plate, and so I think he is going to give the run actually here for Orleans.
That's a shot that in most other ballparks is probably out of here, but it's 434 to center here at Miss Eldridge, and it looks like the run is going to count. So a sacrifice fly by DeLauder. Locklear is doubled up, but the Firebirds do add some cushion. It's 6-3 Orleans over Cotuit as we head to the 8th. Welcome back to the 8th. Firebirds have added a run. They lead 6-3 over the Cotuit Kettleers. And it will be Nick Hull remaining out there. Struck out the final 2 batters of the top of the 7th. And he'll face the lefty Dylan Beavers to open up the top of the 8th. We've seen 2 balls today, Gareth. One by Cole Cummings and one by Chase DeLauder. I think in a lot of other ballparks, those are gone. But it is deep here in Orleans, 434.
Yeah, I certainly thought that ball might have had a chance to get out, but it's deep out there in center field.
First pitch to the lefty, puts the bunt down, pulls it back, takes the ball high. And the count 1 ball, no strikes. So Cotuit with that big 3-run 6th inning. When the Firebirds able to get a run in the bottom of the 6th and then the bottom of the 7th. Increasing their advantage to 3. Holes 1-0. Upstairs again. And the count 2 balls and no strikes. So Nick Hull, who was so good in that 7th inning about staying ahead of hitters, finds himself behind 2-0 to open up the top of the 8th. Swing and a bloop shot down the left field line. Left third baseman Locklear charging forward makes the catch. That one in on the hands of Beavers, just trying to fight it off. And it ends up in and out.
Yeah, so that play that I want to go back to on the sac fly, the RBI sac fly from Chase DeLauder. Again, the run coming in, Thomas scoring before the putout was made because Locklear had thought that ball was going to be in the gap, and he was doubled off easily at first. But again, home plate umpire clearly signaling at pointing it home that it was going to be a run. The run would count, so that's why it's 6-3 Orleans here.
A little bit of a confusing play. We've had a couple of those
Yeah.
in this season. A home run that didn't count. Now it's the righty. Luke Gold took a first pitch ball upstairs, 1-0. And this time takes a strike on the outside part of the plate, and they count 1 ball, 1 strike. Orleans 6, Cotuit 3. First time the Firebirds are welcoming in a West Division opponent here to Eldridge. They'll be at a West Division opponent tomorrow across the bridge in Wareham. 1-1 to Gold. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball drops Gold to a knee. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luke Gold, though, hit a home run off his knee in a scrimmage that Cotuit had earlier in the year. He's got terrific power. When he falls to one knee, you know he's giving it his all. 1-2 from Hull. Upstairs, good snag by McNiss. And the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lights are on. Still a good amount of people here at Eldridge Park. Sun has set on this Thursday night, the only game in the Cape. We're happy to bring it to you. Gold looks on. Hull looks towards the sky, looks in. 2-2 outside. And the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the sophomore from Boston College. Gold led Boston College with 9 home runs. If you ever go to Luke Gold's Twitter, Gareth, check it out. His pinned tweet is that he got hit by Kevin Herter on a line drive to his knee when he was in 8th grade. 3-2. Swinging a high fly ball down the left field line towards the pole. It's gone. Luke Gold with a solo shot trims a run off the Orleans Firebirds lead. And it's 6-4. That one to the short porch down the line. Cotuit back within 2.
Got a hanging breaking ball right over the middle of the plate, and that was right down the left field line. I mean, it had the distance. The question was whether it was going to be fair or foul, and I think it was fair by plenty. And again, only 300 down the left field line. It's quite short.
So a souvenir down the line from Gold. And it's now Orleans 6, Cotuit 4. For the left-handed batter, Brooks Baldwin. Opening offering. Misses high. And the count. 1 ball and no strikes. So Hull gives up the big fly to Gold, who has terrific power. That's his first home run this year. Hull looks on. 1-0. Swinging a line drive into the gap in right center. That ball gets down in front of the center fielder, Thomas. A home run and then a single. And all of a sudden, Cotuit has the tying run at the plate in Blake Klassen.
That's another hanging breaking ball from Nick Hull, and it's just not catching his target. He does not want that leaking out right in the middle of the plate. And these Cotuit hitters have not made much of a mistake. Hard single by Baldwin, and here comes Kelly Nicholson, and he's going to take the ball away from Hull.
So Nicholson will go to the pen. Noah Searson telling us Michael Polk. Guess who? It's Michael Polk coming out for the Firebirds. We'll step aside and come right back. Orleans 6, Cotuit 4, but the Kettleers have the tying run at the plate in the top of the 8th. Welcome back to the top of the 8th inning. 1 out, 1 on, and it's a new pitcher on the mound for the Orleans Firebirds, leading the Cotuit Kettleers 6-4. It's the lefty from UCLA, Jake Somm, who picked up the loss against Chatham on Monday. Gareth Somm trying to bounce back. What can you tell us about the reliever?
Yeah, he sure is, and he had a rough outing on Monday against Chatham. Only 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, just 1 walk. And as you mentioned, Carlo, he got credited for the loss against Chatham at Veterans Field. But for UCLA this past season, he was a second-year setup man, and he would come in and try and retire left-handed hitters. He did not walk many hitters at all. His numbers with the Bruins this past season: 17 appearances, a 3.15 ERA in 20 innings, 23 strikeouts over just 3 walks. But he already walked 2 in his Cape debut on Monday, and he's going to try and get a left-handed hitter out here in Blake Klassen and keep this lead at 2. Orleans 6, Cotuit 4, with the tying run coming to the plate.
So the lefty Klassen digs in. Somm, one of 3 UCLA pitchers on this Orleans staff, trying to finish off the top of the 8th. Runner at first is Baldwin after his single. So far today, Klassen has struck out, lined out, and flew out. 0 for 3, still looking for his first hit. Somm, the lefty, can see first the whole way. First pitch off the outside. And the count 1 ball and no strikes from Somm to Klassen.
Somm's has a little low 3/4 release. That fastball's going to be mid to high 80s. He has a changeup and a slider as well that will run in the high 70s, low 80s. Not an overpowering guy by any means, but it's all about control for Jake Somm.
1-0 to Klassen. Strike at the knees, able to paint the bottom of the zone. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Lefties against Somm this past season hit 200. Meanwhile, righties around 250. Somm's 1-1 to the lefty, and Klassen fouls it back over South Orleans Road. And the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wind blowing out to right a little bit. Inning was going smoothly for Nick Hull. Then he gave up the home run to Luke Gold down the left field line, and Brooks Baldwin singled, and Hull was pulled. Baldwin leads at first. Somm looks on. Exhales, looks at first. 1-2 home. Drops in for a strike, and down goes Blake Klassen looking. That's a good way to start the inning for Somm, and with 2 outs, up comes Matthew Donnellan.
Nice slider on the outside corner. It's got that slurvy motion to it, and able to catch that outside corner. Big out for Orleans here in the 8th, I should say.
Top 8, 2 outs. Orleans 5, Orleans 6, Cotuit 4. First pitch to the right-handed batter, Donnellan, in there for a strike.
Actually looked like that was called a ball, actually. I thought that was a strike too, Carlo.
Here comes the 1-0. And that one's in there for a strike.
That looked like the same pitch.
The strike zone has baffled us a little bit today. At times. Orleans 6, Cotuit 4. Tying run at the plate in Matthew Donnellan. Somm couldn't get the final out of the 5th on Monday. Can he get the final out of the 8th against Cotuit? Runner goes, and a pitch and a swing and a high fly ball to right. Cox towards the wall, looking up, he makes the catch. That one just shy of the wall and right. Connor Cox able to track it down. And Jake Somm, he gets the 2 outs he needs. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Orleans 6, Cotuit 4. Firebirds hang on to the lead here at Eldridge.
Hi, I'm Steve Anzoni, owner of Fairway Financial and Cape Cod's Retirement Income Specialist. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, schedule a time to meet with me today.
Get more details at fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
Welcome back to Miss Eldridge, bottom of the 8th inning here in Orleans, the only game on the Cape Cod on this Thursday night, and it's a good one. Orleans leading Cotuit 6-4, and the Firebirds an opportunity to add some cushion before the 9th inning. They'll face Max Gigg still on the mound, and he'll face Connor Cox, the man who made the catch to finish the top of the 8th. The ball that looked destined to tie this game ended up in the glove of Cox as he steps into the box. Cox with 2 singles today, struck out back in the second. And he will lead things off. Sophomore out of Long Beach State against Max Gigg. Well, Gareth, you know Connor's a SoCal guy like us when he's wearing the sleeves tonight. First pitch. Misses off the outside. That might have caught Donnellan. He is down on his back. Now gets up slowly. Gigg comes in and talks to him. I think he might have been crossed up there, Gareth.
Yeah, I think as it has been what we've seen early on this week with not just opposing teams, but also with Orleans. It's guys that are just still trying to figure out the chemistry, still trying to get on the same page. And, I mean, you have a lot of signals that you have to go through and go under. And, you know, these guys, they don't have the armbands under, you know, they don't really have the armbands. And so it's just kind of going off basic feel. And it certainly is going to be something to work on as the game progresses and the season progresses.
Orleans 6, Cotuit 4. And the righty Cox looks on. 1 ball, no strikes to him. Pitch on the inside. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Cotuit Kettleers at 1-1. The Firebirds at 1-1. First of 6 in a row for Orleans. 1-1, swinging out 1 hopper right towards short. Shortstop Brown to his left. There's his cross his body in time to beat the speedster Cox. And there's 1 away to open up the bottom of the 8th. Brown has been smooth for Cotuit all year at shortstop. Made an error on his first opportunity, but has been perfect since. And it's Jack Moss who singled and came around to score on 2 wild pitches and an error. First pitch to the lefty, misses off the outside, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Orleans 6, Cotuit 4. Firebirds didn't lose to the Kettleers last year, in their 2 years ago, excuse me, in their championship season, where beat them twice, tied them twice. 1-0, swing and a miss, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. In fact, head skipper Kelly Nicholson's all-time record against Mike Roberts. A .617 winning percentage. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes, which, when you think about how long these 2 guys have been ahead of their teams, is pretty impressive for Coach Nicholson. Only has a losing record against 2 teams, and that's Wareham and YD. 1-2 on its way. Off the outside. And the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. To Jack Moss, the new Texas A&M commit. Aggies are going to be happy to have him. Gareth is going to be happy to lose him, or sad to lose him, excuse me. Really nice guy, though, Jack. He's been really kind to us. Taking interviews. 2-2. And there he almost takes a pitch on the thigh. Count 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that Arizona State team that has a lot of talented freshmen, and it'd be interesting to see if more guys like Moss that will depart from Arizona State and to find new homes given the new coaching staff changes.
3-2. And he swings and hits one off the hands right towards the pitcher Gigg. To his left, scoops it up, and underhand flips to first. Looked like he broke his bat there.
Oh, yeah. He shattered that lumber in on the hands there.
And there's 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. 1 more chance for Orleans to add some insurance, and it's the kid out of Baylor, Jared McKenzie. Kenzie so far today came up twice in the third, walked, scored, and then in his other at-bat struck out. Popped out to the shortstop, Brown, his other at-bat, as the first pitch to him, off the outside. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. 9 hits, 2 errors for Cotuit, 6 hits, no errors for Orleans. The Firebirds leading where it counts, up 6-4. The 1-0 is slapped up the middle, off second base. Brown takes it off the carom, goes to first in time. What a play by the shortstop. Ricochets off the bag, it does not matter. We'll head to the top of the 9th inning. One more chance for the Cotuit Kettleers. They'll have the 9-1-2 spots due up when we return. Brett Roberts, Eric Brown, Cole Cummings due up. But first, let's go to Noah Searson for our trivia answer.
All right, we got Noah Searson ready. Whenever you're ready, Noah, what's the answer to trivia?
Yeah, so Gareth, this time nobody actually got the trivia. A little disappointing. So hit us up on Twitter if you know the answer. But the answer to this trivia question, which if you forgot, as a reminder, the question was, in 2019, the Firebirds had one player appear as both a pitcher and a hitter in the same game. I guess I'll give a shout out to our executive producer, Bryce Johnson, for finding the question. But the answer is Zach Koska. He pitched a third of an inning on July 5th of 2019 against Wareham, and also appeared in that game as a hitter. A little disappointing that none of you Firebirds fans out there could get that one, but hey, there's a lot more home games, 18 of them to be exact. We'll have a lot more trivia, so be sure to hit us up on Twitter at Orleans Firebirds if you know the answer next time, and you can get a shout out on the broadcast. But for now, we got an inning to go in this one, guys, so I'll send it back to you for the conclusion of this one.
All right, thanks so much, Noah. Really, no responses on Twitter tonight? Oh, man.
Bryce Johnson stumping the world.
I know.
Even I had to do research.
That was a good question, of course, and well, hopefully next home game when we come back on Sunday against YD. We got Wareham tomorrow night, at YD on Saturday, and then back home Sunday. That will be the next home game here at Orleans. So maybe we'll get some more fans for our trivia question then.
We might have to make it a little easier too.
That too.
So Jake Somm, a chance to build his confidence as he looks to get the final 3 outs of the top of the 9th inning. The Orleans Firebirds leading the Cotuit Kettleers 6-4, and Orleans looking to improve to 2-1 on the year as they open up 6 in a row. We'll have next Wednesday off, but the season's starting to ramp up. To lead things off, right-handed batter Brett Roberts into the box. Roberts singled his last time up, reached second base, did not score. First pitch, and he takes a strike on the outside part of the plate, and the count, no balls and 1 strike. Heard rumors that maybe Polk would come in to close this game, but I think this is the right move, Garrett. Leave Somm in. 0-1. Swinging a little bloop shot over towards Young at second. He leaps and makes the catch. Jace Young flashing the leather today. His second gem at second base. And there's one away in the top of the 9th.
I mean, you just took the words out of my mouth there, Carlos. Second time Jace Young's made a leaping catch. That time, I mean, it was one that just sort of that floated out there. It kind of hovered, and he just had to, again, make the full-out leaping extension catch. That'll help out Jake Somm here in the 9th.
Right-handed batter Eric Brown, the leadoff man, with 1 out, and the base is empty. The pitch, swing and a miss. Well, he was swinging for the fence. Came up empty, and the count, no balls, 1 strike. Orleans 6, Cotuit 4. Here at Eldridge Park. And again, Garrett, the defense continues to be a pleasant surprise. Not that we expected them to be bad, but we just didn't know.
Yeah, it helps to have a solid infield, solid outfield behind you where you can just pitch to contact and know that the defense is going to help you out.
0-1. Strike on the outside part of the plate. And Somm in the driver's seat. No balls and 2 strikes. Jake Somm trying to send the Orleans Firebirds home happy. And the few fans that have stayed Looking for him to finish it off. Sets belt high, looks towards Brown, holds the bat in front of his head. 0-2 in the dirt. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Like we mentioned, tomorrow, Wareham, long drive out there. Got the car playlist ready, Garrett?
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to be playing, but we'll certainly have something queued up for tomorrow. And make sure you tune in here right on our live stream for Orleans versus Wareham. First meeting against the Gatemen this season. And always fun to take on the Western Division teams.
Cotuit coming off that canceled game against Wareham in which they needed 3 more outs for it to be official. And the Gatemen got out of there in a hurry. That game eventually canceled. 1-2. Check swing at a high fastball. Did he go around? He did. And no, an appeal to first, and he didn't go around. Home plate umpire John DiLamo said yes, but the first base umpire, Mark Delaney, said no.
Well, the home plate umpire, John DiLamo, is saying he went around. He's not even acknowledging first base umpire Mark Delaney's ruling. So he said he went around, and that's strike 3, and there's out number 2.
So Jake Somm has got the Kettleers on their heels. Orleans leading Cotuit, 6-4. Base is empty, 2 out, top of the 9th. Somm now facing Cummings. First pitch to the lefty and a wave. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Orleans looking to improve to 2-0 at home. Their lone home game in this 5-game stretch. On this Thursday night at Eldridge, 0-1. At the knees, strike 2. And Cotuit down to their final strike. Somm couldn't get the final out in the 5th. Chatham rattled 5 runs off of him. Looking to get the final 5 outs against this Kettleer team. 0-2. Strike 3 at the knees. Down goes Cummings, and that will do it. What a performance by Somm to close things out. The Orleans Firebirds defeat the Cotuit Kettleers 6-4. They improved to 2-1 on the season. Cotuit falls to 1-2. Firebirds able to take advantage of a lot of opportunities presented to them by Cotuit. Go back to that big 3rd inning. 4 runs come across. 4 Firebirds were walked. 1 was hit by a pitch. They only picked up 2 hits in that inning, but 4 runs came home. And then in the 6th, Jack Moss was gifted 270 feet after singling. He came home and scored, and Orleans able to get the win 6-4 here at Eldridge Park. They remain undefeated at home. They also have not lost to Cotuit now since 2018 after this win. Well, we'll keep it here and then head down to Noah Searson, who's going to have Ryland Thomas, the sophomore out of USC, who had a terrific day today. Noah, whenever you're ready, go ahead and talk to Ryland. Noah Searson, if you got us, go ahead.
He does. Not enough. Is his mic on?
Noah, turn your mic on.
Every aspect of your game click at some point.
Never mind, it is.
To be honest with you, it felt great. It was my first game here at Eldridge Park with the fans, so I was really excited to showcase my talents. But I mean, I played well, yes, but my teammates did very well as well. So I couldn't have done it without the pitchers throwing strikes and other guys doing well at the plate, not just me. So yeah, it was a great team win. I was very happy to be a part of it.
Ryland, the most selfless guy out here all the time. But going back to your game real quick, how good did it feel, especially what kind of confidence booster was it, considering that, you know, you had the game on Tuesday where it was a tough loss against Chatham, then you had, or on Monday rather, you had the rain out on Tuesday that you played in. So, you know, you had barely even played a full game, but you get the start today. number 2 spot in the lineup, and you play like this?
Yeah, to be honest, it felt great. I mean, I was looking forward to this the entire week, the first home game here for me. So I was a little disappointed about the rain out in the other game. Didn't do too well, so I was just very blessed and happy. So I loved it today, and yeah, credit to my teammates as well. They did great, not just me.
All right, and one more question for you, because I'm curious. I know we've talked before about your play in the outfield. You can cover a lot of ground, make a very spectacular catch every once in a while. You had a great catch today. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the catch and the overall look between the tumble and the collection of the ball?
I mean, I won't rate it because I don't like rating that, but I'll rate it like a 6. Cause I kind of overran the ball a little bit. I couldn't see it off the bat too well, but yeah, it felt great to make that play. So yeah, I'm happy I did it here.
All right, 6 out of 10. So it seems like there may be some more that we see this season. Rylan, thank you so much for your time. Great game tonight, and we'll see you the rest of the season. Thank you so much, Rylan. We'll send it back to you guys in the booth. Carlo, I know you guys got somebody. Who are you talking to now?
Thanks, Noah. Yeah, we got Jake Somm joining us here in the booth. Jake, thanks for coming over.
Thank you.
You come off the outing at Chatham, probably not the result you got, but you come out here, 5 straight retired. You get a couple of strikeouts at the end. What was working for you today?
It was just fastball location mostly, building off of that with off speed, kind of having a healthy mix of both. So keeping them off balance was the main key today.
Yeah, and you fractured your pinky at the end of the season at UCLA, so you're just kind of getting back into things. How different was the feel from this outing than from your first time pitching in over a month at Chatham?
I think really wasn't much different. I mean, I've been throwing for the past few weeks, so I was just as comfortable out there in the beginning of my outing as I was tonight. So it really wasn't much different. It's just kind of keeping the same process, same mentality just the entire time.
It looked great out there today to close things off, get the save. How has it been? You're out here with all these new guys, but also you got Max Radjic, you got Philby, some teammates with you. How's it been being with a couple of UCLA guys all the way out here in Orleans on the other side of the country?
Yeah, it was awesome. I've always known Max was coming out here with me for the whole year, so I was excited about that. But then I heard Jack was coming too, and so we were really excited about keeping that Bruin connection for the summer. So it's going to help us once we get back to school too. Just getting to know each other better, getting to help each other get better. So it's been great.
And I know you also got some Trojans on this team, and Garrett and Rylan. Any rivalries when you guys see each other? Do you not say hi, or is it all friendly out there?
Oh, of course we talk a little trash. We did beat SC a bunch of times this year, so we never let them hear the end of that. But it's been great. I've come to a few great friends with these guys, even over the short period I've known them. So it's been awesome.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us in the booth. Have a good night, and we'll see you at Wareham tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good one. That'll do it for us here with Jake Somm. And we'll bring Gareth Kwok back into the booth to wrap things up here at Eldridge. Noah, do you got anybody else down here, or should we wrap it up?
I think Noah's going to try and get a coach with us to wrap things up. Looks like he's got pitching coach Matt Troop with him. And we'll let them get settled in for a second here. And so Noah Searson, looks like you got pitching coach Matt Troop with you over there. Take it away.
Yeah, Gareth, I got Coach Troop with me. Talked to you a little bit pregame, and you guys kind of came in with a plan. You had DeLauder starting, and then you kind of had a very segmented plan from Connor all the way to the end. What benefit?
All right, we apologize for the technical difficulties. I believe our sideline reporter, Noah Searson, his mic went out, and so we apologize again for that. But Carlo, time to put a wrap on this one here. Actually, you're the one that should be asking me, but it's okay. We're looking ahead.
Ask you if you
it's
want.
Okay, sure, you can do that, but we're looking ahead to Wareham here.
Yeah, we got Wareham tomorrow. We're going over the bridge. Good win for the Firebirds. I think at the end of the day, Gareth, when you look at this one, just capitalizing on opportunities that Cotuit made mistakes, and the Firebirds able to take advantage. What's your biggest takeaway from today's ballgame?
Well, I think today it just goes to show the little things that can happen when you walk guys, you hit guys. Those may, again, you got to be able to. It's okay pitching the contact and pitching, giving up some hits. At least you're throwing strikes and whatnot. When you're giving up the walks and the hit by pitches, and when the innings really drag on, that's what can really, make it frustrating for coaches. It can make it frustrating for your teammates, and we saw that early on from Cotuit when they gave up the early 4 runs in the 3rd inning. And I'm sure that's not going to make manager Mike Roberts super happy, because those were the runs that kind of put them into a bit of a hole there. And if you take away all that free 90s, the extra bases, this probably would be a Cotuit win, given how much after that they seemed to pitch pretty well. They only gave up 2 runs the rest of the way. So, again, I think when it comes to pitching, I think it serves as a friendly reminder. You got to be able to throw strikes, got to be able to pitch to contact. Let your defense help yourself out, because otherwise you're not helping yourself, your team, or whatsoever, giving up walks and hitting batters. And, again, it's still early. These guys are still getting adjusted to playing in a new league, facing new hitters, new teammates and whatnot. But ultimately, I think this will serve them a good reminder of what walks and free bags can do and how much it can hurt you. And for Orleans, they were the recipient of that, and it led to a victory.
Couldn't have said it better. My big takeaway, 14 strikeouts at Chatham on Monday. Only struck out 5 times today did the Firebirds. So saw the ball a lot better. Granted, also part of that is because Cotuit's hitters struggled a little bit, but able to see the ball and be patient and take advantage of those opportunities, like you were saying, Gareth, and a good win for the Firebirds here at Eldridge. We will be at Wareham tomorrow, 6:30 start for that one. Gareth Kwok will get us going. But for now, it is so long from Eldridge Park. The Orleans Firebirds defeat the defending Cape Cod League champion Cotuit Kettleers 6-4 at home.